Hey everyone, welcome to another Firefly Devs. Today we're diving back into the Angeldust remaster, looking at the textures, looking at the code. It's going to be fantastic, so stick around and see what we got up to. I was supposed to stream on Friday, but I didn't. It's one of those stories. But what I did, I was figuring out a snow texture. I've been spending 3 days on it. Well, not full time, but I spent 3 days, about 7 or 8 hours, trying to get the snow texture to look good. Took a bit of tries. Eventually I was able to find a process, a workflow that works with the lines, with the design of the original texture by, I think it was Spaces Green, maybe it was Robotic, but maybe we'll never know, but maybe they can chime in later on. Anyway, it uses the original lines and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good, like snow is a different material compared to the stones and to the grass, for instance. But I was able to find something that works. It looks pretty good. I also made a beginning with the rocks texture based on the original design. We might have to tweak it a little bit during this stream. I also want to take a look at maybe the cobble, the marble, lots of texture still to do. And I also have a trick, like there's a file here on my desktop that we maybe can take a look at. But I'm not sure if I'm ready to unveil that just yet, because it's super awesome. Anyway, let's jump into a wonder and let's see what I did. And then we fire up all of our illustration tools and start making new stuff. So if you go to Count with the Villa, it's a wonder by Angelio. We can see some snow blocks sprinkled in. So we have the snow sprites, the snow particles falling down. But this is the snow texture. So it's sort of at the same detail level as the other blocks, but it's a bit smoother in appearance and it's just very snowy. Like we have ambient occlusion, we've got the normal map. It's all based on the original design. Snow is a bit light, so when sunlight falls onto it, it's like real life. You can get snow blind, sort of. But it feels really good. It feels very fluffy and voluminous. Voluminous. And with the artificial lights from the lantern coming in, for instance on this block, it just feels so good and fluffy. I tried different techniques or different approaches to it, like maybe adding tinier details, like small snow specks, the actual snowflakes in there. But that felt a bit too photorealistic compared to the rest of the style. Also harder normals, like harder edges to all of the designs, felt a bit contrived and it didn't look good in the natural world. So this is the best I could come up with. And like regarding contrast and detail level, it's sort of similar to all of the other textures, so that's good. It's different, but hey, it is a different material, so that doesn't really matter. So this is Count with the Villa. It's a cozy city that's half snowed in. As you can see, the lines are very reminiscent of the original texture. And it's just so good. So let's go to Acacia Mountain, with one of the more recent wonders in the game. And we've got a lot of snow here, so let's see if we can find a snowy wall. A wall of snow. So there in the background you can already see that even with these moderately smoothed rims and edges to the design, the background is still pretty contrasty when the sunlight falls onto it. But once you get to like the up close and personal look of the material, it just feels so fluffy and so nice. Especially when there's lanterns nearby. Hello, welcome Corporal, I think Devin says.
Nothing like that.
So again, it's a bit bright, so maybe we have to lower the albedo value slightly here to not have this sort of overexposed look to it. But other than that, it's snow. I mean, it's always going to be white and sunlight is bright, so I like it. Even the effect on the walls, it feels like snow-covered walls. But let's go inside. There's a portion of this build that is inside, where there's sort of a snowy town, village, hub, whatever. Here's Corporal Alex. And this feels so good. This feels so good. The fluffiness of the material. Like you're truly walking in a snowy cave or a hollowed out mountain with snow. At least to me this feels very good. It's not too invasive, the texture, and it's just there. The original lines are there. What's not to like? So let me know what you think in the comments, or maybe send me a private message on the website. It's all good. Welcome to my restaurant. What do you want to buy? Nothing. I'm just looking at your snow. There's one more build, Lucas Leroyon, that I know has got a bit of snow, so let's go there. So we can also take a closer look at the pillars one more time. Nice pillars, nice snow. It's all good. So marble is also a material that I want to tackle. See if we can make it look better or more consistent. And some of you might have already seen the rock texture, so I've been working on the rock texture. Maybe the current version is just like perfectly usable. I'm not sure if you can find some in the real world here, if we venture out. Anyway, there's a lot of snow here, so hopefully you'll agree that this looks pretty good. Like there's a bit of shadowing going on here, which is mostly apparent on the lighter materials. But overall it feels very snowy. This feels pretty good to me. Which is also what she said. So here we have a big box. A big box made of paving tiles. Buy one block, get the castle for free. Okay, okay, I'm not hating it. This was built by Dark Lord 33. Now Dark Lord, is there also a wall over here? Oh, it's in the back. Okay, okay. Some good work. Maybe one day this can be a wonder too. Anyway, let's go to a random wonder, see if we can find some rocks. This is Super Summer by Leyenda. Are there rocks here anywhere? I don't think so. So maybe we'll just have to dive into the build alone mode like this.
Underway, so let's go.
And then we just randomly teleport to a place where there are rocks. Chilled woods. Savannah, okay. Good enough, good enough. We have some rocky mountains here, so long-time players of the game will see that these are the lines, the rocks that are in the original texture. But now they're rounded and now they actually reflect light like you would expect them to. There's also ambient occlusion in there, so it's all coming together. Now one tweak that I sort of want to do, but I'm not sure if it's going to improve the texture or if it's going to make it worse, is to try and add a bit more layering to this. So right now most of the rocks are in the same plane, like the same height sort of, but there is a bit of layering going on in the original texture that doesn't really shine through just yet. It might be too subtle of a difference, but I think it's worth investigating to see if we can make it look even better. But anyway, this is the rocks texture. Once the sunlight is at a more grazing angle, you see a bit more of the shadowing coming in, and you see the depth of the rocks come to life here. So it doesn't look bad currently, it looks far from bad, but maybe we can just improve it a tiny bit in the layering department. Other than that, I'm pretty happy. So I figured out, like, this was a very tough thing to do, to figure out the way, like a process for making the snow texture and for making the rocks texture, because those are natural materials. They're a bit different than the artificial approach that we used for the other textures. So maybe we'll try to tweak the rocks first. Let's archive this version and then start tweaking slightly. So this is 2022-12 first decent version 1. And then we just move everything in there, or at least we make a copy. So we can always go back to that one. Let's open it up in Illustrator. And I think there's a layer in here to show you what I did. So I made the shapes and then I added the shading to them. I made the shapes and I did the shading. So it's a lot of undoing the texture tiling, or making the texture tiling more explicit, and then working with those shapes to add the layering. And what I did here is this stone, this rock, is at 206 brightness, and the other stones are at 222, and there are also some at 255. So there's 3 layers of rocks. There's already a bit of layering going on, but it could be a bit more contrasty even. So let's see, how many do we have at 206? It's only this one. Then how many are there at 222? Okay, that's the copy. That's just the copy of this one. And this one stops here, so there's only 3 of them, where you would expect 4 maybe, but there's 3 of them. And then the rest is 255. So if we want to make this more extreme, we could probably like halve this value or so, or maybe go even deeper. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this stone is way in the background. And on this one, select the same fill color. This one we can sort of move in between there, 189, 189, 189. Like this. Already in the navigator you can see a bit more layering going on now. These are difficult in the sense that this one is in front of that one, but okay, so we can do in between on this one, 206, 206, 206. Alright, starting to look like something here. We're in danger of looking like a team here. Shall we run with this? Part of me kind of wants to tweak this one slightly. Cheers for today, Firefly. Thank you, Alpagune. So part of me wants to lower the brightness of this one slightly. Because this one is in front of that. Is that in the original shapes as well? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then the question becomes, do we start working with gradients here? So do we make these rocks, this is 1, 2, 3, so do we add a gradient here, like linear, and then set this, the darkest point to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like this, and then we angle it at 45 degrees, minus 45, there we go. So it's kind of below that one, minus 60, 60. So it's now more in front of that one and lower than that one. But then we probably can do the same trick for this stone. No, we can't do the same trick for that stone. Okay, more layering. Let's give it a shot. We save this as the displacement map. You know the drill. We've been through this a few times already. Rock displacement. That still looks sharp as ever. Question is, can we see the layering going on here? So we'd expect this rock, this one. No, this one. To have a bit of a different angle to it. And this one should be further in the back, except it's still in front of that one. So, how about that? What's up with that? It does have a nice profile to it. We smooth it out and let's run with it for now. Step by step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The ambient occlusion looks solid. Usually that is a very good indication that the texture is going to look good. Open up texture packer. if it wants to at least. Yeah. So with the addition of these textures, the texture has grown a bit larger, a bit bigger. PBR game world, and now we convert it. We're done.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
And let's just go into the world randomly. Looking for a forest with some rocks. Okay, here we go. Still good, still pretty awesome. And let's see if we can find a larger mountain or hill. Alright, alright, alright. Well, Paguna says, wow. Hey, it's pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty good, isn't it? Just taking a look at the rocks like this. So the idea here being that if the sunlight is directly falling onto it, you don't get a lot of depth in here. But when you get a bit of shadow in there, it's starting to get this relief, this contour. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So let's see if we can find a regular forest. Tundra. I'll take it. Pretty good. Here we also can see the combination of snow, like the new nice texture. Thank you, Alpagune. We used the original by Spaces Green or Robotic, and we added some extra jazz to it. Here's some snow, very snowy. Looks good. So maybe we can just say, okay, we did our best and we added some layering, which might or might not be very visually apparent in the end result. I mean, it's very subtle. This stone is definitely lower than the other ones. So let's just say it's good. It's good. Let's not mess with this too much. We could add more intricate layering, making some rocks definitely stand out above others. Do we give it a shot? It will take a lot of time. We'll make a copy of this one. Keep both of them. I've never felt snow in the real world because I'm Indonesian. Okay. Trust me, the snow feels pretty good. This snow feels pretty good. So the idea is that we then make the shading on the rocks a lot more subtle by, instead of doing like a very heavy contour, we make the contours a lot less heavy, like this. A lot lighter, if you will. And then the layering should be even more apparent. But now we really start to run into problems because we run into trouble because now everything is seeing double. So how about we give every rock the same linear gradient? How about we do that? How about that? Sorry about that. Okay, I apparently chose a water gradient here. We don't mind. But we want to use a black Reno. When I play and go through the snow, I can really feel it. Yeah, that's the idea. That's what we want. Yo, like this. Whoa! There is more depth to the stones if we do it like this. And now we have a 45 degree angle. The whatchamacallit is pretty heavy though. The inner glow is pretty heavy. So maybe we go to 40 pixels. Yeah, to lighten them up a little bit, maybe 36 pixels. Lighten them up. We need to be on the lookout though that it doesn't become a sort of specular map. We need to make sure that we retain the illusion of it being a displacement map. But maybe this is what stones can look like. And then we need to make sure that the lowermost value that we use is a bit brighter, so that there's more depth and contrast in it. Okay, so I sort of like the look on this. We definitely added a bit of layering to the rocks, but we need to make sure that it looks good as a displacement map. So it looks, maybe it's a bit too shaded now. There's too much shade going on. Open it up. Yeah, we definitely lost a bit of depth. We lost a bit of depth in the stones themselves. But let's not shoot the messenger just yet. Let's see what it looks like in the game. So maybe we prefer the other look. But we should still try it. Give it a try. See what it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop. The ambient occlusion map is a bit more rounded now. There's a bit more detailing going on, and you can see that there's a high portion to the rocks and a low portion. And we did get a bit of flavor back now with the ambient occlusion. So, but I feel that the stones are a bit too flat looking. At least in the pix plant look. So let's go.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Now we just need to find a mountain. Is there one here? Nope. Nope. Coincidentally, the granite uses the same texture currently because it's an overload of the rock class. But I want to look at the true rock. Hector says, I got my coffee, even though I'm late for the educational attainment. Don't worry about it. You're welcome, Hector. It's texturing, it's coding. What's not to like? Hey Firefly, in 2 days I will have a birthday. Can I ask a word from you? You could ask, but I'm probably not streaming on your birthday. It's on a Monday. But hey, save this video, save the timestamp. Happy birthday, Walpagune. I hope you have a nice birthday. I hope you enjoy the day, get some nice presents, and a year older, a year wiser. Hope that shines through in your personality. Okay, here we go. Here we have the rocks one more time. Okay, you can feel the layering on these now. But I feel that the layering is exactly what we don't want. There's too much directionality in the texture now. It feels more like the roofing tiles that we had before. It feels like they're more layers that are sort of laying on top of each other. Scales of a reptile. If you have a dragon in real life, no, but a lizard or something. A lizard has got scales on its back, and it feels like these are scales, like laying on top of each other. That's not the look that we want for our rocks. So I think the previous look was better. I mean, this is a nice layering effect, a nice scales, if you will, like a chainmail or something. But this is not the rock that we're looking for. These are not the rocks that we're looking for. Let's see if we can find a regular rock bit. Okay, over here. I think the layering is off. Previous one was a bit better. Jump up the mountain. Here we go. This feels like lava that flowed and that sort of like solidified in different layers on top of each other. So molten, molten and then, what's the word in English? Molten and then frozen lava or whatever. Gestold. What's the word for stollen? We're going to learn some Dutch and English here. It's the same that candle wax does. Dutch to English, stollen. Okay, solidifying, nice. Clotting, coagulating, congealing. That's probably the, or setting, like, yeah, that's the word that we're going for. So it looks like lava that has solidified. Wait, Firefly, what up? So we can use this ID, like we have to make a volcanic rock texture as well, and volcanic rock is sort of the rock that is exactly what I was just describing. Lava that is cooled off. So we can use this trick for that, but this is not the rock texture that we're looking for. It's not bad, but it's just not what we're looking for. The rocks are a bit too angular. And we could start tweaking the gradient on it, but I don't want to. I felt the other rocks were better, so let's just revert to the older design. Throw this in the trash. Now we have two of them. So which one did we like better? The original or the newer one? I think we use the newer one. It's got a bit more depth to it, while still looking good. The newer might add more depth. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. We added a bit more layering and it was subtle. It just makes some stones a bit... they don't stick out as much. Like this small rock over here, and it gets repeated 4 times. It adds a bit more layering, while still retaining the nice... like sticking out rock shape instead of being layered. So I think this is what we want. Also, someone is trying to cut down a tree, I think. Not sure if you can hear it, but over the sound of my fan, my laptop fans, but someone is trying to cut down a tree. It's not my laptop. Yeah, this looks sharp. This is what we want. Oh, I already saved it. You could briefly see the texture map update here. The normal map was being updated, and this one has way more contrast in there. The colors in the normal map itself, they are closer to the other textures. So that's a good hint that it now has the same sort of contrast and vibe to it. Here we go. And here we go. And here we go. Yeah, these rocks are much better. The other one was too layered, and this feels more like individual rocks that are sticking out. So, tag it and bag it, I think we're good here. The colors might add on to what those red through the blue 3D glosses can do for us user experience. I still need to get a pair to help me add to my 2D art. I have a lot of those, they're called anaglyphic glosses. Anaglyphic rendering is the trick. Supposedly it's in the engine. I'm not exactly sure. If I open up a client controller, maybe I removed it for this version, but the original game, the original version of Angeldust can do stereo rendering. Yeah, I might have removed it from this version. Yeah, it's probably gone from this version, but it was in the original version. It's just a toggle, and then it will do, using GL color mask, you can do like cyan and red rendering, and it's a pretty convincing effect, except everything turns into sort of fake black and white because you don't have color information. But you can use the same technique for virtual reality rendering for 2 different eyes. It's a fun little party trick to add a bit of depth to the image. and works pretty well. Your eye adapts pretty easily. I do get headaches though, so it's not like super the best or anything.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Like enjoy, but use it with moderation. In moderation. Okay, this is the snow. I didn't really want to go to the snow. Do we have any wonder with a lot of rocks? Tell me. Tell me the answer. Firefly, Icefly and Stonefly. Yeah. And we will probably do Cobble next. So Cobble has got this fake albedo effect in there. And the lines are way too rigid and they are way too contrasty. So I want to fix the Cobble while we're at it. So what's a wonder with a lot of rock? Is it Impact World? Is it 38? Impact World by Rob12. Here we go. And here we go. Here, you see the difference in rendering between the cobble and the cinder blocks. So I know people might say like, hey, the cobble looks sharper, which is true, but that's not the look we're going for. Here, there's a lot of psychedelic rock. It's a lot more matte than the other rock, and it's got a bit of a yellowish tint in there currently. But here we have an entire wall made out of rocks. And that's pretty decent, I'd say. It looks decently stonish. Decently stoned. I like this very subtle color effect with the crystal gravel in there, mixed in there. But the feel of these, I've been looking for this. The feel of these rocks is definitely more matte than the regular rock, as if they're special or something. Let's go into the mountain cave thing. Yeah, it feels pretty cave-ish. Feels pretty cave-ish. So with the light coming in from the other end of the tunnel. I think there's a bit of gold mixed in here. Well, Paguna adds, my palace is not finished yet. I will finish it quickly. Take your time. Enjoy the ride. This reminds me that we also have a lot of stones in Dragonthroat Valley, which is wonder number 17. Hey. And then we need to go into the mining shaft, which is supposedly over here. Yeah, let's enter it. Alright, so we've got a lot of rock here mixed with grass, so that way you get grassy rocks. And this feels nice. This feels like a real mine shaft. Not to be confused with the other game. Because this is totally different, seriously. People always say that they look alike, but they stole almost everything from my game. And the lighting here is just so good, with the lanterns providing directional lighting everywhere. This feels really nice. Let's take a screenshot. So I feel that the rocks are pretty good. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next texture. So next up, do we tackle cobble? Because what we need to do with the cobble is get rid of the lines in between. Because we're using an albedo texture for those, this one, and it's too sharp. It's too sharp for the look that we're shooting for. Awesome atmosphere. Hey, it's thanks to you, Hector. Without you, the atmosphere would be different. I can tell you that much. So let's make an archive folder here, and let's call this 2022-12 albedo hacked. Sounds more impressive than it is, but it is albedo hacked in the sense that we use an albedo channel for the look. So we want to get rid of that albedo channel. And we need to get rid of the spacing between the stones. So what we need to do is to make everything connected. And we can use straight lines, I think, wherever, where we feel like it. We could try running with the background. My mom said, "You bought the game again?" "No, mom, it's free." She almost scolded me. Ugh, waka waka. Is that, how do I pronounce the waka waka? I'm not super familiar with that term, but waka waka. There's two tricks we can do. With the snow, I discovered a new trick, basically. What we can do is we could use an outer glow. We can use outer glow to sort of fill in the gaps. That's one trick. Other trick is to use the inner glow, like make the grooves a separate thing, and then we... the outer glow is definitely the easiest thing to do. The problem with the outer glow is that we can't really fill in all the gaps, I believe. What do these look like? So we've got two inner glows, a one and a second. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so do we want the large profile or the small profile on these? This makes them look a bit rounder, so let's go with this. Waka Wak is laughing online. Okay, it's not something that you say in real life. Okay, let's try outer glow. Let's see what we can do with that. So let's select normal, 100% opacity, and then we blur it like, oh, that's 10%. So what we want to do is we want to make the background slightly darker, and then we need to first look at what the background color is. 99. Okay, so we're lowering this to 64 or so, and then we need to make our outer glow 99. Effect, stylize, outer glow, normal, 100%. It's me, snakes. AC set 10%. No, we glow to 64. That's what we do. We glow to 64. Okay. Now we will get some portions that are still unaffected. And we might get some portions that are overlapping. Like what if I do a ridiculous value like 32? I feel it doesn't affect the stones at all. Because we're doing it as a group, which is exactly what we want. Great. Boom. Problem solved. So the stones are now slightly raised above the background. Maybe a bit too much even. So maybe blur 16 pixels. Bit more subtle. So what happens with this portion? Let's add a digital color meter. Here we go. 66, 66, 66. Why is there no gradient on this? Is it because we messed up? There we go, we want it to be a glow. And then we can maybe use 24. That's a bit too much. So I'm sort of eyeballing how much we need here. But since we're doing that effect, we also need to copy this one. Over to the right. We need one more. Oh, and it's one of those files. It's one of those files that isn't set up correctly. Like that, okay. Now we should have a very subtle gradient in between the stones. Let's see if we can find it with the color meter. 86, 85, 84, 83, 83, 84, 85, 86. Okay, that's good. I can live with this. So instead of making the stones taper completely outward, we now sort of fill in the gaps between the stones with a bit of relief, so that we end up with we end up with very few pixels in between that have no gradient applied to them. So cobble, displacement. Hey Firefly, can you say something? I can. Selamat ulang tahun awal paguni. It means happy birthday to me in Indonesian. There we go. Selamat ulang. Like awal. Selamat ulang tahun awal paguni. I can't, like, I don't understand like the sound of the language. Selamat ulang tahun awal paguni. There you go. I can't say it while looking at the camera because I need to read it out loud from the letters on the screen because I can't remember this. My brain is fried. Okay, so theoretically we have fewer untouched pixels in here. There's a bit of a gap between those two, and that's probably because we wrapped the texture there. I think at least. So maybe we copy this one. Huh? So maybe we copy this one downwards. And then we copy this one upwards. Okay, and then we want to make sure that this one is over there as well. So it's because we have a tiling texture again, and we don't want to do too much work on making it tile correctly. So we're just going to have to fill in all of the gaps here, left and right. So we probably want to copy this one and make sure we just have a 3x3 copy of the entire texture. I need to remember that this texture is incorrectly sized. So I'm pretty sure that we also want to copy this one. Thank you, Jordan. Clean your room. It's something you can start doing today. It will improve your life. Clean your room. Thank you for the motivation. But hey, take a look at it. It's already pretty clean. Don't you see it? Like, we've got the studio lights in the back, the RGB lights in the back. My room is pretty clean, sir. But I'm really happy that you sent me a reminder here. Wilyang tepang tuan sareng telat kanggo sadayanya. Okay. Please don't kill me, sir. Hey, Mr. Peterson, are you the real deal? Like, are you the one who was supposedly internet famous a few years ago? Because I almost bought your album. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Let me look it up. I hope I don't get copy struck for this. If you go to Bandcamp, what was it called? Jordan Wave? Peterson Wave? Nope. Clean your room. We'll probably find it out. Clean up your room. Akira the Dawn. Is this the thing? We need to look it up now. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is streaming friendly, but there are some good inspirational albums on there. If you want to have them. Privyet, как дела? It's all good. Marek, welcome. A happy early and late birthday to everyone is a translation. Thanks for the inspiration to figure it out. Well, Pagune, there we go. Hey everyone, nice avatar you've got there. Jordan Beats a lo-fi hip-hop mix. This one is it. Akira and the Dawn. JBP wave. What this? It's a meme. It's a meme. There we go. There we go. This is the best. This is the best thing you'll ever hear today. Go and listen to it. Anyway, thank you for dropping by, Jordan Peterson. Wherever you are, whoever you are, even if you're the fake one, I don't mind. Everyone says it's the same avatar, but it's now Christmas. Very cool. Ruwan, are you in for a cool thing? I will record it and show it to my mother on my birthday. Hey, it's for you, mostly initially. Brazil lost the World Cup yesterday, so no more green and yellow profile picture. Netherlands also lost in the, what was it, quarterfinals yesterday, so no more orange for me. Okay, better now? Better now? Yeah. I think we now have everything connecting nicely. Let's use the digital color meter to make sure that we have some detail in here in these grooves. Yeah, we have some detail in these grooves. And this one, yeah, also has got detail. So I think we cleaned up all of the fake background pixels now. And if we smooth out the normals, yeah, you can still see the effect sort of. So should we make it a bigger difference? So let's make the background 0 then. And then we check the thing. We outer glow from what shall we do? 1, 2, 3. Okay, better. Netherlands made an important score on the last second. Yeah, it was 12 minutes of overtime or so. And then they scored the 2-2. And then in the overtime they didn't really do anything too complicated. And then it was penalties and they missed 2 penalties and then they were going home. It's what happens. That's just what happens. Okay, is this what we want? It looks pretty good. I think we got rid of most of the unassigned pixels here. And it looks very fluffy. I like it. Let's run with it. So let's see if we make a difference here. Let's rename the old normal map so we can compare. Let's call this one old. And then we replace this one with normal. Okay. Things are definitely happening. The old one was much blurrier. And we sort of stretched out the stones a bit in the newer one, which is exactly the thing that we were shooting for. Let's run with it. Add the ambient occlusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because here's the thing. What we used to do in albedo, we now do in the ambient occlusion. That's the idea. We don't want the albedo channel anymore. So let's save this as the ambient occlusion map. Ruan, I've got a very special surprise if you're ready for it. I'm not sure if I'm ready for it, but I can show you. I have some idea to use it for. I mean, here, we don't even need the albedo anymore. This looks like super cobblestones. Super cobblestones. We'll just make a new file. It's much easier. 480, 480. White square. White square, super rare. Cobble PBR albedo, replace. Save it up in your face. There we go. No more files open, that's good. You ready for surprises? You will be surprised. So first of all, I did a snow texture and a rock texture. And they look pretty good. It would be cool if a pure white and black block was added to the game. Marek says, okay. Something to keep in mind. Pure white, pure black. But let's take a look at the cobble first. We'll take a look at Counterworth Divilia because I know that uses cobblestones. And then we'll take it from there. Yeah, I think that sounds like a good approach. I can also show this snow to Ruan. They're gonna like it. Yeah, what are we waiting for? Christmas? It was running the game, but it didn't show up, so... Here, there we go. Much better.
Time to waste, let's go.
Oh, we already have cobblestones here in the village. That's pretty good, and we don't use the albedo anymore. Feels like cobblestones. Let's go to Counterworth Divilia. Here we are. Okay, I'm definitely loving the fact that we got rid of those very dark in-between pixels. This looks cool, not gonna lie. The snow looks cool. Check this out. This is the snow. It uses the original lines. As you can see, it's the original design, except it's fluffy and it's very smooth. But it just feels so good. And now this road, this pavement, the cobble doesn't detract anymore. At least that's the thing we're shooting for here. I don't know how snow looks IRL though. Okay. Something like this. It has a bit more depth to it than real life snow. Real life snow is a bit more flat. But it's cartoony, it's exaggerated slightly. But this was, I spent a few days getting it right, so it's the result of about 7-8 hours of work, and this is the best I could come up with. Okay, so the cobblestones, are we happy with them? I think the fact that we have slight spaces in between the stones is good, because we kind of want to signal that those are not super tightly fitting. And overall it feels good. And let's take a look at Impact World. We had some cobblestone over here as well, mixed in with the other blocks. Yeah, so way less of a detraction now that we got rid of the albedo, the sharp black albedo lines. And this block is I think this is concrete mixed in as well. So it's a bit funny. In the original game, in the original Angeldust, people used this dithering technique to make things look more interesting visually. So you get cobble mixed in with cinder blocks and overgrown cinder blocks and so on and so forth to make it look interesting. It still works in this style, but it's way less necessary here, because the blocks themselves just look better and you get this lighting effect for free. There's like directional lighting going on and you don't need to work as hard. Glass of different colors, for example, black glass. We do have different colors of glass. We've got the citrine glass, we've got the green, the blue. I'm not sure if those are sufficient for your needs, but there are different colors of glass. And this is water, by the way. Okay, so next up, one of these days we also need to do the facing bricks. we need to face the bricks. One of these days, because it uses the same albedo trick on it. Oh, you have a rock wall. Check it out. Rock wall. Looks nice. We've got Piano Man Steve, who can sing us a song. Let's go to a random wonder, see where we end up. Cinnabon Village. Does this have cobble anywhere?
And now we found the loot and we're happy.
Cobble, please. No cobble just yet.
Hey, sweet haul.
I know, we're not finding it there. Alternatives. Like, I like the look, I think it looks pretty good. The alternative is that we draw a new texture. Ourselves, or well, new texture, but we use the existing lines and we sort of like click on the points in between here so that the stones connect more closely. But I think the feel of cobble implies that there's a gap between the stones. One thing that we could potentially do is to add a slight, like to add a, but if we select them all, they're already grouped, so we use effect, path, offset, path. And then we could potentially like offset it by 1 pixel or 2 pixels to close the gaps slightly. I don't understand anything right now. Join the club, me neither. I'm also having a hard time understanding this. Okay, so what is the first effect that is added? I think the offset path is being added first, right? Or is this the first effect in the stack? Does anyone know? What is the first effect that's being applied? Is it the topmost one or the lowermost one? How does Illustrator work? I think it's the topmost one, because you can see the edges being pushed outward here. Okay, so we want to offset the path by just enough to not overlap at parts. So I think our most narrow corner is over here. Or maybe it's to the sides here. So what does it look like with a 3 pixel offset? We reduce the gaps slightly. Do we get texture artifacts now? Because I want to have the gap, but I don't want it to be too obvious. Like the smaller we can make the gap, the smallest, the better. Are there any artifacts in here? No, okay. Like the biggest gap is in this stone over here. Stones are definitely nicely aligned now. We smooth out the normals. One, two, three, four, five. As always with this visual stuff, it's a matter of getting it good, better, best. So don't stop at good, stop at best. Will 3D graphics be added to the game, or will it be a separate game? Undecided as of yet, but I think it's most likely going to be a different game, like a new game, because retrofitting this onto the existing game is hard to do, because the entire render engine changes. I think this is even much better. There's less gaps between the stones now. There's a single gap in the texture over here, like in this corner. But I think the lighting is just a bit more solid, a bit more tight here. Tight, tight, tight. So let's check it in Count with the Vilia. It's got a bit more lighting going on. Ooh, snow at night. driving home for Christmas. I can't wait to see those faces. Driving home for Christmas.
Nothing like that new treasure smell.
Take a look at the driver next to me. He's just the same. Top to toe in taillights. Impact World, here we are. Yeah, I think this is the best that we're going to get the cobble texture. Based on the original design and not having to redraw the entire texture. I feel this is the way to go. Do you know the way? I know the way. There's still the illusion of gaps between the stones. But once you move away from the light, it doesn't get weird like it was before. I have no words for this, but hopefully you'll understand what I mean. Random Wonder. Impact World. Okay, super random. We were already there. No, sir, your men are already there. Hello, Councillor Judy. Good day, traveler. It's the Clifton Council office. Anyway, it looks good. Let's run with this. Let's run with this. Let's not waste any more time. We did it. We made a great texture here. So again, the process is basically expanding the repetition, the tiling of the texture, and then working as well as you can to add a 3D effect to it. That's how I did the snow. Okay, so the cobble is improved. Cobble is now new style. We did the rock. We now replaced the cobble with new style. Next up, like a sort of lantern block is eyeing me here. Why is the normal map like this? Why does it have transparency in it? Am I missing something here? Oh, it was because of the emission, right? Texture map channels. Normal map. Yeah, emission. Okay. Do we want to do the lantern block? Lantern block is very... Where's the displacement map here? Displacement. Let's open it up in Illustrator. Okay. I can't wait to see those faces. Part of me wants to do dirt. Part of me wants to do marble. Part of me wants to do a metal pipe. Part of me wants to do the wooden plank to make it more in line with what we have on the other blocks. I think the wooden plank is used like everywhere, so maybe we do the wooden plank. And I'm not specifically looking forward to it, but hey, we gotta start somewhere. We gotta do something. Because those wooden planks, they're like, you see them everywhere.
Oh, no time to
If
waste,
I
let's
just
go.
go to Count with the Vilia, you don't even have to look too closely to see the wooden planks. Like there's wooden planks on these stools, like everywhere. It's just such a common texture. Also the tree bark might be nice. So maybe today we just update
Hey,
existing textures to the new format. Because we already did the rock, which was sort of a new one. We have the snow, which is a new one. We also should take care that we don't fall too much behind with the existing designs that we need to update. Maybe that's the idea. And then we can also, like if we've got more time, we can also do the lantern block, which isn't used in builds a lot, but it is used in the village, I believe, in the village wall. Oh yeah, so other things, like not sure if people are following the ongoing narrative, but I did a lot of fixing of the stairs block normal mapping. There were problems with it. We saw it on a previous stream that top faces of the stairs blocks were incorrectly mirrored horizontally, so that's fixed now. So the roofs, especially like large roofs with stair blocks, look better now. Upside down stairs, like these slants, have been fixed, so the texture mapping, normal mapping on those is now improved and much better. So I think we're almost near 100% accurate normal mapping. Okay, so these cobblestones, super good, super impressive. No tiling artifacts anywhere. The gaps are very narrow, and overall it's just much more consistent with the style that we are shooting for. Just feel the texture of this pavement here. Those very obvious albedo lines, those black lines are now gone. That's good, it's good. We're shooting for a much more subtle here. Okay, random wonder. A lot of snow in the Artisk Vorota. A lot of snow, and it feels so good. It's pretty good though. Okay, there's no wood here, but wooden planks, here we come. Do we have this archived? Albedo hacked? Yeah, this is the version. So we need to copy over this style of wooden planks to the wooden pole. It might not look like much, but this is going to be an important texture. And we'll use the mathematical approach here because it's an artificial material. I think that's just the best. One thing to consider is, do we want to keep this design for the top of it, the top part? You could imagine a wooden pole having a wooden, whatchamacallit, like a wooden plank on top as well, or the illusion of wood. I feel this design, it is a nice design, but it feels very tree bark like, as if there are grooves from an axe in there. So let's place a wooden column, wooden pillar, wooden pole. What we can do is we can also make a barrel, maybe. People expect the design to look like this, but it's a bit weird that the top part looks like that. Because if you select the tree stump, this one, it uses the same design. So it's logical for a tree stump, because that's a natural material. It's logical for that to have the X marks in there. But it's a bit weird to have the wooden pole be like that. Be like that. Still, we'll probably have to run with it, so let's do it. Do we just toss all of this out? We might be able to keep these material maps, depending on the size of the artboard. Yeah, there. Let's toss everything out. We're tossing everything. Boom. Let's make albedos first. They're just going to be white for now, because we haven't decided just yet if wooden planks should have albedo or not. So we call this wooden planks. PBR albedo. It's the same trick as always. More files. Now we make the displacement map, and we can probably copy over a wooden plank from the original texture. Here we go. We copy over a plank. So we'll have to rotate it like this. Then we need to make sure that those glows do not scale. So let's go into preferences, general. I think maybe we can just scale strokes and effects. Maybe we can just disable that, because for our workflow we don't really want that. 1272, that's good. So we still have the depressed look to it, to the pole. Workable. Now we need to add the nails in there, and I sort of want to make sure that we place them at the same orientation. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey Amelia, welcome back. So let's get 2 nails in there. Whoop. Move them to the edge of the artboard like this, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is the orientation that we have on the regular planks. Copy one over. Amelia, I've got some great textures and I've got something cool to show you. I did a great snow texture. We just improved cobble. A rock texture based on the original design is in there now. But sort of waiting for Ruwan to come back, and then I've got something very cool to show you. Hey, Ruwan is back. Okay, so both of you stick around. I've got something cool. It's a file on my desktop after we have done the wooden pole. I will show you. And I made a mistake again. I always make mistakes here. We do need an albedo show. I'm messing everything up. Wait a moment, wait a moment. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Okay, albedo, boop, boop, boop. Good, 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 good. Close this file. And we need to go back to wooden planks, pole PBR albedo, wooden planks, pole PBR displacement. I have this thing, this file, weather FX shader. It doesn't do what you think it does. The name is a bit baity, but I can show you. It's a very cool effect that I want to toy around with in the future. Okay, so then we copy over the nails to our albedo, because we do have albedo for this. Yep. Let's call this plank. Amelia, one thing I'm wondering, do you have the game running again? Z-baited, J-baited. Do you have the game running again? Like I think I sent you a solution, but I'm not sure if you already got around to using it. Does it work? Does it work at all? Yeah, it's work. Nice, nice, great. So, Ruwan, what do you think that it does? Weather FX shader, what do you think that it does? Again, don't count on the name too much. What do you think that it does? Thank you so much, you're welcome. I hope we can make something out of it. This is our material base, because I'm a material boy living in a material world. So the plank is going to be like that, and then we need to copy over the color of the nails. Lots of copying here. You're using a controller. Does it work on iOS? It adds thunder. That sounds very frightening. Pro tip, it doesn't. It doesn't add the thunder. But it does add something else though. Nails. You need in-game gold. I can't help you with that. Ask Hum. Hum is the king of hunting. We'll do a hunt later on today, so in about, what is it? 7.5 hours? I guess, yeah. PlayStation 5 controller works? Awesome, awesome. I didn't specifically test it on iOS with controllers, but it's great that it works. Good to know. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for testing. We copy over a material file. I'm getting way ahead of myself here. Like, where did we save this file? It should be in here, right? Yeah, why is the thumbnail different? Wooden planks, pole, PBR material, boom. Yeah, we want to replace some files We don't have the ambient occlusion yet, though. Ignore, ignore. We'll fix it, we'll fix it. Ruan says, I don't know if it's related to rain. Close, close, very close. Males, nails. Too many files are open. I'm losing track. The customization is amazing. Cool. The customization, it's a long story. It's a long story. But it's there, and it's such a huge improvement. It's related to the raindrops. Close, close. Don't expect the world. Like, don't expect everything. But it is related to stuff. We smooth this out. Okay, so this is going to be the pole. It's dented, like we did with the other planks. So let's save this normal map. Snow and rain. Yeah, you are also very close. It was just a bit of fun I was having, but it's pretty good fun. I usually have my hopes very low. That's good, that's good. You don't want to be disappointed. Everyone, I am disappointed. Once we have this texture done, I will show you. It's a very nifty thing. I was just playing around with it, and then I found something very cool. Which coincidentally is what she said. We want to have the ambient occlusion in there, and we also want to have the material base map in here. This one, boom. This looks good. Let's just save it. Well, particles are already in the game too, so not a lot has changed on that front. It's an experiment. It's just an experimental thing. So it's not amazing, but it is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I know. Okay. Let's take a look at our column here.
Let's go.
So we have column blocks somewhere? Question mark. Wooden pole. Boop. Boop. Okay, it's a wooden pole. Good afternoon, hello Lynx, how are you doing? Lynx, is your 3D Android version still running strong? Still going strong? Okay, that's wooden pole.png. We have the wooden pole texture on these poles, and there's also some outside of the village here. Everyone says, That doesn't sound too amazing.
No time to waste, let's go.
Let's go to Count with Devilia one more time. Snow. Snow. Okay, it's on the stools now. The RT and still can't be mapped to the RT works for some reason. Okay. Okay. I'm real happy for you. It's a bit sus because this texture gets stretched a lot. But it is more mellow though. It's more in line with the other wooded texture. Like eventually the conclusion could be that we want to add albedo for it. The LT does something, but I don't know exactly what it does. It switches to the shovel, I believe. Or the last used item. One of those two. Left trigger will either switch to the shovel or the last used item. So it's for building. So if you're building and you need to shovel something away, you just left trigger, and then you can switch between the last used block and the shovel. It's also in this game, like if I press right mouse button, shovel block, it does that. So you can build more easily. Ruan 4K is now nearby. Huh? How does the man even do it? You can just join the game. That's how it works. You can just join the game and then click on the button. Hey everyone, how are you doing? You made it to one of the development live streams. We're not hunting for coins here, but you're absolutely, you're glad you're allowed to join me here in this quest for glory. Are you on the ground now? With your pearl wolf, it's very shiny. I was about to build. Okay, well, hello then. Wait before building. Let me show you the weather trick. One moment. Because it's amazing, especially here in Count with the Vilia. Take a look at what the screen looks like now. Take a look at the village. So again, Count with the Vilia is a snowish village, snowish build, and it's super cool. But what if, and this is going to be a very nifty trick. It's an initial version, so don't expect the world, but let me open it up. Weather effects, here we go. Insert it between the whatever. So it's a shader effect, and we need to insert it between shadow map, material mapping, and reflection. Okay, we need to paste it here. So what it does, it uses the angles of the geometry in the world, including the normal map, and it sort of says, hey, all the surfaces that are pointing upwards will have snow on them. So it's a hard-coded snow effect, sort of. This is going to be more dynamic in the future. But now everything is snowy. And it will, like everything is snowy. See, this is just the perfect shader for the time of the year. Everything, like all of the things that would catch snow are now snowy. So the Drakeling is covered in snow, the builder is covered in snow, everything is covered in snow. So let's sign in.
Let's go.
And you can already see that the village is now covered in snow, like this. It uses the snow material definition. So instead of things being metallic and being shiny, everything is now snowy. Whoa, this is cool. And this is what I want to add in a dynamic form to the game. So once it's snowing, snow will accumulate. It will also, hopefully in the future, take care of things that are overlapping, so that it will not be on these stairs because there's a roof above it. But now everything is snow. Here, see the entire village, like everything is snow. I forgot what the remastered version of Angel is called, but my favorite builder looks even more handsome. Yeah, there you go. But see, these are snow-covered cobblestones, snow-covered grass, like everything is snow. It even goes as far as on these grass blades, you will see the snow be on the top of the grass. Probably the top portion of these lanterns is also snow. Yup. So the more normal maps that we add, the more detail will be in there. So let's go to Count with the Vilia one more time. It's just super fitting for that. Ayo, how you? Here. Now everything is snowy. The roofs. If we go up on the roofs, see, everything is snowy. Compare it to what we looked at before. So before we only had the snow that Angelio added, but now everything is snow. And it's just glossy, and it's super, it's such a nice and intuitive effect. At a very core level, you feel that snow has fallen here. The guards even have snow on them. Take a look at his hat. Is one more in the light? Let's see. So soon the sun will rise and it will look even cooler. But here, even the guard is snow covered. He's just standing still too much. He's got a party hat. So how did you do it? It's just the 3 lines of code as you just saw. It's just taking all of the vertical faces in the world and applying snow material to them. So that's really cool. Like these benches are now also snow covered. I was thinking of making maybe a few postcards in this December for posting on Twitter or maybe on other social media as well to promote the development live streams. The guard might have a cold if he stands there. Yes, this lighting on the soldier, indeed. And here, take a look at the artificial lights, just reflecting like this. It really feels like ice, snow-covered stuff over here. Again, a future version will probably take into account that there's a roof above things. But if you go to any random wonder now, like a Magical Winter by Leyenda, which fortunately also has a winter theme, things are just so much more snowy.
Hey, sweet haul.
Take a look at the snow building up on these bricks, for instance. It's only on the top portion. And we just walk into a magical winter world. Oh, it's actually starting to snow too.
Oh,
So that's not what the shader does, but like it's called magical winter, and everything is just so lovely snow covered. Here we've got Gramio
Hey, sweet haul.
with his snowy hat. And again, if we have the normal maps, it just looks so good. You see the snow in between two things. Do you wish to have more views on your development streams? Yeah, I'm looking for more views everywhere. Everyone says, this looks super cool, not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm really amazed at this. Here, this tree. See, the top part is covered in snow, bottom part isn't. Super nice tree. Also the roof. See, nice snow-covered roof. Snow everywhere. It works just so well in the wintry builds. Now next up we'll probably get Snowy Summer or Super Summer by Leyenda. And then it falls apart, but don't worry about it. Here, wow, this is so good, this is so good. Again, I want to maybe make postcards out of this, like Season's Greetings from Super Summer by Leyenda in the snow-covered style. Here the bamboo. Just very nicely covered in snow as well. I'm sorry to say, but it looks even better than normally. Yes. It's just so cozy. And like that's what I was hinting at. Like if the snow would start to fall in the game, then this snow would build up and it would start to look like this. It would be a dynamic effect, so you wouldn't even have to do anything to your build. Like everywhere where snow would fall, you would get this. And it's just so good. There's one more, uno más, Equatoria. Okay, this is usually super metallic. And now it's not metallic anymore, like the entire pyramid is covered in snow. Sorry Rob, everything got snowed in. So there is still, of course, still metal on the side faces, but everything else is just snow. The entire glass dome, snow. Everything is snow. This would make my life much easier on Steam Land. Yeah, so it won't be in the regular Angeldust. It's an effect I can't add there because it's just not possible. But in this version, it's super easy. This entire pyramid, snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. So uno más, one more. Still Equatoria. And you can see, like, this build is not built in the snowy area, so this is in the rainforest. Which is why I also made a rain version of this. But that needs a bit more work. If we go to Neferspi, number 4. This is Neferspi in snow. I mean, how cool is this? This guardsman, okay, it's raining now, but don't... Here. Snow on his armor. The red heart priest. You look like Santa. You've got snow everywhere. Here. It's just such a different, unique look to it. It's Neferspi in the snow. Who could imagine this? It might be an Easter egg, like if you play the game in December or on Christmas, you would just get snow everywhere. It would just ignore the biome and it would just give you snow everywhere. It just looks so good. It's so super tasteful. See, it's such a lovely effect. We need normal maps for all of the materials to make this work. But once you have the normal mapping, it is just so lovely. It sounds like a DLC. Yeah, snow shader. Just adds a bit of flavor, contrast to everything. So if you go to the Arctic Gate, This one is actually in snow, so then you get snow-covered Arctic Gate, which also looks very spicy. I would like me to share a bit about your stream. I cannot promise, but I have very new friends who usually check my posts, and then when they start to play the game starts to blow up. Yeah, sure, but maybe we do it for the next one then or so. Or if you post right now, this stream will probably be 1.5 hours still. But your stream for developing this game is very interesting. I wish more people could watch too, lol. Yeah, hey, it's here. It's here for people to enjoy if they want. Ruan, so this is the snow in the natural world. And these are snow-covered rocks, which look spicy and tasty. Whatever you feel comfortable with, Amelia. Don't feel pressured or obligated to do anything. But yeah, like if we can get people to watch, that's always much appreciated. Drum up some interest for the game. Here, it's just so good. This is entirely snow-covered. Sanrafar. Oh, Ruan, here you go. Sanrafar. Oh, this is it. This is it. This is the postcard. This is the postcard. Season's greetings from Sanrafar in the snow. So I think that would make for a nice Easter egg. Just indeed replacing rain everywhere with snow if you play in December. And here you can see the normal map for the column, so the depressed look to it. It's pretty nice, so a bit of snow build up here. You're gonna post? Cool. Let's see what happens. So we finish up the poll, and then next up we do another texture. It looks like a postcard. It does. It's just so good. Next wonder, San Carlos.
And we're happy.
Again. Oh, this feels good as well. Are these houses made out of snow? Am I seeing ghosts here? The houses are made out of snow. Why? Why, song? But it's just the coloring. It's just the coloring. It's the greens, the reds, and the whites coming together. Oh, and the background. It's made of snow because it's pure white. Okay. Snowy houses. Ay ay ay. The color palette is pretty much perfect. And here the rocks in the background. Whoa. Yeah, well, the dumb thing is if you go inside, everything is also covered in snow. There's snow everywhere. It's just so good. We need to go to, what is it called? We need to go to Alexi's Wonder. But let's first go to Dragon Throat Valley. It looks fantastic. Allemaal. How cool would that be? Like, this is for postcards right now, so it's not available in the game, but for postcards it's just amazing, this effect. Normal day in Russia. I mean, take a look at the way that it just works. Oh, the water! The water is a bit sussy if you ask me. Oh, these are the lily pads. It's frozen. The water is frozen too. Normal day in Russia. Ooh, lovely. Yeah. So we definitely need more texture, like gravel we need to do. But it's just so good. Here, another postcard. Greetings from Dragon Throat Valley.
Oh, divine.
Yeah, it's mostly cosmetic, so you would still fall into the water. But check it out, even digital science, indeed. Even the coin in the user interface is frozen. See, the coin even has the frozen effect on it. So what's Paxanima? Just as a quick detour, let's go to Paxanima. See what that looks like. 13 and 14. Here, Alexi, Paxanima in snow. It's so good. It's just so good. The way that it just automatically knows on this rock formation to not apply it to some blocks and then apply it to some others. Oh, it adds such a lot of flavor and depth to it. Season's greetings from Pax Anima, there you go. Oh, it's just lovely. Can you imagine what this looks like if we've got all of the textures in there? Check the main house. It looks so good. Yeah, what? The tree over there. See the way that the leaves all interact? Okay, so leaves texture is also on my list of things to do. But here you can see the power of having normal mapping and displacement mapping, ambient occlusion. It just all comes together. Like you can now swap out the material shading independent of the geometry, and it's just so good. The main house. Let's jump up on this. It's pretty nice with the roof like that. In a few moments, the sun will hit it. Here, check it out. People know this from the promotional materials, so it looks so good. It does, doesn't it? Again, it's a bit of a fake effect in the sense that it's a very easy hack, but sometimes the quick hacks are just the best.
The loot and we're happy.
Xenovoid. Okay, it's well, you do have snow foxes in Japan, so don't worry about it. This is super realistic that we have snow on the Xenovoid build. It's super realistic. This is exactly what you wanted. Now this samurai with his red outfit looks like Santa. Santurai. Started to snow in Japan, yeah. Oh, also these are made out of snow. Not sure if I like it, but welcome to the Center Temple. Glad to be here. Kinda. Okay, so then the question is, do things fall apart here because houses are made out of snow? Okay, so then the next wonder is Acacia Mountain, which is in the snow as well. And oh, this also looks so good. There's something very satisfying and very pleasing about the way that the snow is oriented in these horizontal slices, sort of. And it just adds so much to the scene. Yeah. It is just so good.
Oh, divine.
The layering. The shading. Oh, and then we can go to Impact World. And here I can show you why the albedo trick is something we want to avoid. Because now everything has got a proper normal map associated to it. And now you don't really see a difference in shading between the cinder blocks, the cobble, and the overgrown one. So by using a sort of like similar process for everything, the shading is so much more consistent. Oh wow, this is also so good, the Clifton. So it's a shame that we don't have all of the textures done just yet, but hey, it's not really a shame, it's just a fact of life. And now you also see that the hand-drawn normal maps start to fall apart. So people might have loved or liked this style where I hand-drew all of the normal maps, but you don't get the same quality of shading and like lighting effects that you get with using these more generated maps. Everything just looks so good. The White House, lighthouse, is a White House. Yeah, how amazing is that? Amelia says, right. Right. Now, so one last call. Let's go to the City of Heroes. Is that 3? Striped Road, also good. And here too, it's just such a lovely effect. Don't step on the ice. City of Heroes is 1. Okay, yeah. But we're almost already there. In fact, you could call this the City of Heroes. Oh, the bunny! I like the effect it has if you're near a metallic material. Because it makes it much. And the dino as well. Ooh, check out the dino. So with a simple trick, you get such an amount of flavor here. Let's hop onto the dino. See, just the way that it covers the metallic portions, it's so nice.
Hey, sweetheart.
The way the material shading interacts, it's just so nice. Up onto the bunny. What? There's an elevator in the bunny? What just happened? Huh? There's an elevator in the bunny? How do I not know this? Okay, but we're on top of the bunny. Whoa, top of the world, baby. It's just so good. Well, again, houses are also snow covered, so welcome to my interior. It's freezing inside. It's no problem. Anyway, there you go. That's a demonstration of the effect. I hope you liked the demonstration. Again, snow-covered builder, snow-covered scout. Obi is probably going to make comments about this. Snow-covered fighter, snow-covered sorceress. Again, Obi will have some comments about it. So that's the snow effect. And now I also have a rain effect. But this one is something that I still need to tweak and sort of animate. But now everything is wet.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
So this one takes all of those top faces, like all of the top portions, and makes them look wet, like more glossy. And then the idea is to animate this slightly, so that you have the idea, like once rain is falling, you have the idea that water is actually flowing off of these blocks. I think it's an effect we can pull off convincingly. It does require normal mapping on everything, because, for instance, like this is a bit flat now, but like once we have this, wet, ooh, yeah. See, and it looks pretty good on the cobblestones. Pretty much the perfect block for this, because they have a lot of detail in there, but it also works for all of the other materials. It's wet, yes. That's what I said. See, all of the stones are wet. Even though it's not raining in the game at the moment. Of course, the glazed roofing tiles were already pretty shiny. They're just a tiny bit more shiny still. But the grass, for instance, you can see very tiny specks everywhere. So it's just a bit of detail, just making things a bit wet. If we go to a random wonder, just one. It's not the perfect one, the Artist Forota, so let's see if we can go to Neferspi. We saw Neferspi in snow, now we go to Neferspi in rain. But this is just a bit of a detour, showing off a cool shading effect that I created this week, just for fun. But I think it's worth adding this to the game. So very wet bricks here. It's a more subtle effect than the snow, but still, if you take a look around, you still see the wetness on like all of the
Hey,
blocks and all of
sweetheart.
the geometry, especially if there's lighting nearby. And I think once it's animated, you will get an even better feel for rain. Ruan says, well, Firefly, how about it, Amelia? What's up? Are you gonna tell me that rain is not wet? The game looks so good. Ruan, you look so good. I share your stream, but I'm getting several messages saying that your stream is set to private. Somehow they can't access it. Is it? Let me see if I can sign in. I'm not sure how this works. I'm pretty sure I created the stream the same way I did with the other streams, so let me... I'm pretty sure I created the stream the same way I did with the other streams, so... I hear myself. I hear myself, how though? As far as I can tell, so on YouTube it says visibility is public. I'm not sure if there's much more I can do, so on Twitch it should also be public. I don't think you can have private streams on Twitch. I mean, you all were able to join. I didn't specifically give you permission to join the live stream. Yeah, on Twitch it says I'm live. I hear yourself too, lol. And Ross says, let me test. There might be something wrong with your share URL. I just set it to public. No, I changed nothing. I'm innocent. I declare that I'm innocent. In the meantime, let's stay at Nefersby here. No, seriously, I'm innocent. I did use another trick. It says public. Like everything I see says public. I don't create share URLs. I have no idea what a share URL even is. I just stream like normal. You were able to join me. Well, I don't know. They cannot join using the share link. How do I get a share link? How do I test this? It's really dumb though. Like the one time that we tried to sort of promote it, apparently it doesn't work. Let me mute myself. Shut your face. Share. Copy. Link copied to the clipboard. Okay. So next up, how do we then test this? Firefox, new private window. Let's make sure I'm signed out. I am not signed out. I don't know. Yeah, me neither. I have no idea what's wrong. Wait, let's quit out of the game. Let's remove the weather effect. It's all good. I don't know. Let's just continue. We'll figure it out. Like, nothing is set to private. Seriously, it's all on my end. I have no more buttons to make things public, it appears. I can see my stream, so unfortunately I don't have a second device to test with. And I don't want to sign out of Firefox, because then maybe everything is gone. Create a new profile. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's call this new profile unprotected, launch profile in new browser. Hopefully this works then. YouTube.com. Let's see if I'm signed out. I should be signed out here. This is a clean. Yeah, here we go. Clean profile. And now I paste my share link. I'm not sure what share link you use, but I'm clicking on share. Copy the link. Is this the link that you got? WS12_CQCI0K. Let's open it. QCI0K. Let's open. Yeah, I'm watching myself. There we go. So this is a super clean profile. Seems to work on your end. Yeah, I have no idea. So this is about as much as I know about computers. Anyway, let's see if we can create the top part of the column block. So we just did the side texture. Ruan said, so Ruan didn't seem convinced. But I think, like, for now, we roll with it, and then we see what it looks like in the bigger picture. So I'm not sure if Alexa used a lot of columns. Yeah, these are columns, like dark wooden poles. Dark wood pole, dark wooden pole. Let's run with this style for now and see if we like them. If we need to tweak it, we'll do that. So the idea is then that wooden things have these nails in them, and you can recognize them as such by that, from that, using that, whatever. Ooh, and check out the pipes. Ooh, the pipes are so nice. Steel pipe. Definitely a texture I want to do as well. Okay, so let's make the caps for this. No cap. And the cap doesn't have a nail in there. So we save the material. And then we create a new albedo file. 224, 224. Just like that. So also, Amelia, everyone is welcome to join a future stream as well. So if they like what they see later on, maybe they can still like subscribe or something. Thank you for trying to post though. Trying to post. Thank you for posting and sharing. It's definitely something that I think we could do more often. Especially if you have an audience that likes games and game development, like why not? Why not? My army still cannot access it, but I can enter the link, lol. Well, how then? Like, there's no more buttons that I can press. How do? Can they open the Twitch link? Like on Twitch, that's also a possibility. Like, follow me there, watch me there. What's up? I have no idea. Righto, so we go with the tree bark. What was it called? Tree bark? Yeah, tree bark. Where do we get the column from? Tree stump. No. Seriously? Where do we get that texture from? There's... Tree bark swamp root plus crop C. So crop C probably means that we crop it for the column as well. Alright, and then we have the top face. How does that get applied to the tree bark column? I think I have an idea why this is happening. Shoot. Column tree wooden pole. Artificial material, wooden pole dark, extends wooden pole. And then do we also have a tree stump? Wooden planks pole additional. Okay, so we just assign that like that. Because now the question becomes, do we want to optimize for the column or do we want to optimize for the tree bark? We could introduce a separate texture because I think the tree bark is a more natural texture that can have a bit of a different vibe to it, maybe even with the X mark in there. I mean, that's nice. So maybe we do make a different texture for the column. Usually when I share my videos via Instagram, for example, some people cannot access it easily just by the link. Yeah. Seems like people from the US and Russian couldn't access it. That doesn't sound bueno. Is this a point where we introduce a new texture just specifically for the wooden pole? That shot says yes. Okay, there we go. What happened? Does it work? Did we get it working? I'm here. Welcome, Death Shot. I'm not sure if you are here via Amelia. We tried sharing a link. Apparently something didn't work. But we are retexturing a game. We are remastering a game called Angeldust. You might have already seen it before. Amelia used to post about it maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. And still trying to make it awesome. Emilio. It's not Emilio, it's Amelia. Right. Displacement. So, well, still my question is, do we make it like the tree stump or do we make it like the wooden planks? What do we do then with the texture? Like, do we add nails on top of this? I think it's a sight that you rarely see in the game. A lot of these blocks, on the other hand, people might expect them to look like the tree bark. Tough decision. Tough decision. If we move this one to the side and just add some rulers to get to the center. Add 112. So that shot I showed a pretty cool shader effect for making everything in the game world snowy. It's just a great effect. Might look at it again in the near future. But now I'm making a texture for the wooden poles in the game. So maybe for the wooden pole we just use this shape. And we don't add the X mark, but we do add the X mark for the tree bark later on. So you're a game designer? Yeah. Pretty much. At least people pretend that I am. I made this game called Angeldust, a game that, like I said, Amelia played a lot, posted about a lot. And I'm remastering it now to have updated visuals with normal mapping displacement mapping, ambient occlusion. So it's a bit of coding, it's a bit of graphics design like we're doing right now. It's texture creation. So this texture is going to be a wooden plank pole thing. You should see it like one by one, and then it's the top of a wooden pole. Okay, very deep cut there, but the sides are depressed, so let's see what it looks like. Ruan says he's making the game look amazing. That's what we aim for here. That's our main goal, indeed. So this is the planks pole additional normal map. There we go. Boop. We extract the ambient occlusion from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bit of a subtle cross in here, and we save that as the ambient occlusion. AO. Boom. We can close Pixplant. This file is good. We can close this one as well. We don't save this one, but we already have it. Yep, still good. And then we make the additional files for these. So let's go into the bricks, chimney, copy these two over, wooden planks, pole, boop. Wooden planks, pole, additional PBR material. Wooden planks, pole, additional PBR. That's short. In a few seconds, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. What the hubbub is about. Right now it's texture design. In a few moments we'll fire up the game and you can get a feel for what it looks like. Like this. Then we replace the files with our wooden planks, pole, ambient occlusion, and the material base. Boop. Save this out. Deathshot adds, can you make a copy Super Mecha Champions? No, we sort of got a similar comment last stream where someone said, hey, please copy this or that game and make it better. And I said, yeah, it's just not something that I do. I don't copy games. I try to make my own game. People say that it looks very similar to a different game. I think it doesn't. But hey, to each their own. But I don't really copy games. It's not what I'm really interested in. Where do we have a lot of wooden poles? So let's go back to Countworth de Villa. Here we go. See if we can find some actual poles. Okay, so I'm liking the look of the wooden poles on the seats over here. Like, because the texture is condensed a little bit. The edges are a bit less subtle than I want them to be. But now we need to find a wooden pole with the top part exposed. Let's see where we can find it. There are none. Ekplixie houses, okay. That's number 23, Ekplixie, here we go. By the way, take a look at the chord chart here, with all of the normal mapping and the shading going on. I like it, it's pretty good. I think these are ruin stone columns over here. Also read roofing.
Hey, sweet hall.
This is all ruin stone. That's ruin stone. The farms, let's go to the farms. Also, the game runs slightly laggy when I'm streaming. It's because I'm using a slightly underpowered laptop, a MacBook for this, but the one thing that I do know, if the game runs smoothly on this laptop, then it will run smoothly on almost any desktop computer made in the last 10 years or so. Okay, here we have it. At least the side face on it. So we do have wooden poles, like this is a wooden pole, but there's no cap visible. Maybe in the middle. Death Shot says, it looks really good. Hey, you look really good.
Nothing like that. New treasure smell.
Here we go. One thing I'm wondering though is why are the colors off? Because it feels like they're... Is it me or does it feel like the colors are off? I think I made a mistake in one of the material maps or so.
Oh, no
Something
time
is
to waste. Let's go.
slightly weird about this color. See? It's... Did I save the albedo as the material map or something? All of the buildings you see in this map are built by real players. Right now he is in the development mode. True. True. True that. True facts. It almost feels as if this color is being copied. Did I do something wrong? And why is it specifically on this block, the one that we're testing? Ah. Apparently some materials got shifted over.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Hey, that's much better. That's much better. This is less saucy, so it was indeed a bit saucy. Let's go back. We have to go deeper.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Yeah, we go back to the mill, see what it looks like. Maybe it's a bit better now. The mill was a bit weird with the... what was it? A bit of green coloring going on? Why? This is way more natural. Looky here, that's more natural. And it's not natural because we used the artificial sort of texture style for it. But it still looks pretty natural. These are on the tree stumps, by the way. So I think this is the wooden planks. This is sort of the best we can get them in the untextured style. So let's now move on to the tree bark. This is going to be an important block. It's used almost everywhere on the columns. San Rafar has got the entire hotel or restaurant that's made out of this. And like we still use the albedo trick here. And I'm not sure if it's a bad idea that we use the albedo here, because it's a nice effect to have, whatchamacallit? It's a nice effect to have a bit of color difference between the outside of the bark and the inside of the bark. But we can probably use a displacement map, like displacement like we did with the marble columns. We can probably displace parts of the bark, and that takes over the role of this outside stuff. Know what I'm saying? So we make the bark textured, like have I'll show you. Like right now the bark is a cylinder shaped block sort of, but let's add some ridges to it so that it adds a bit more detail. Yeah, also Death Shot, not sure if you're still here, but hey, check this out. In the current version of the game, and let's allow the firewall to make a connection here. If I go to that same wonder that we just saw, Eclixie, it needs to load in because I haven't visited in this style just yet. But this is like the current rendering of the game, which is still beautiful. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's just so different compared to what we just saw. In fact, hey, this looks good too, come on. This is the same courtyard that I was just at. One of these days we probably should do a side-by-side shot. And here everything is textured. For instance, the vegetation, like everything is drawn for this style. this is also so good. Like, the game just can't look bad no matter what you do. But we're just adding a bit of pizzazz, a bit of new lighting effects, more depth and more flexibility to the rendering path. So this is what you can currently already get for Windows, Mac, iPad, iPhone, Android tablets and phones, Linux, and even Raspberry Pi has got a native version of the game. It runs very smoothly, even on low-end devices, so if you feel like it, if you feel like a building game with some exploration built in as well, in a sort of MMO setting where you can play with all of the other players of the game, compete for monthly coins and discoveries and stuff, just get it. It's called Angeldust, playangeldust.com. But again, the remaster is well underway and starting to look like something completely different. Anyway, let's take the tree bark, let's make an archive folder here, archive, and we call the archived version albedo hacked again, because we are using albedo hacks on this, and we place everything in there. Now my question is, do we have different tree barks? I think we do. Documents. It's high compatibility. Yeah, I wrote the engine myself and it just runs everywhere. It would even run on iPhone 3 if you had an iPhone 3, but you can't install it via the App Store anymore. But Android 2 and up, it's like, it runs everywhere and it's just fluid. Artwork production, cartoon, blocks, tree bark. I think we have the other barks in there. Yeah, we've got the birch that we still have. So this is actually called tree bark swamp root. And we already called it that. So let's rename the folder tree bark swamp root, like that. And then we remove the normal map because this is the hand-drawn. This is the hand-drawn normal map. We're going to remove that. Ambient occlusion, we're going to remove that. Displacement map is going to be different as well. Albedo is going to be different, but we can reuse the file names, material. Okay, good. The map is unlimited and the mobs level are also unlimited at this point, I think. If you have a lot of players, you get higher level mobs. That's the trick. So bring more friends, bring more players, hunt together, and you get more coins, more discoveries, more cool stuff. Alright, so what we want to do here is maybe start with the displacement. And this is already pretty good. The recessed portions are lower. So we already pretty much have a good thing going with the grooves. But what I want to do is to add a bit of a gentle feel to the bark itself. Game is currently running on a realistic texture. Right now it's working on a quite cartoonish looking one. There's different choices that you can make in your life. There's all kinds of possibilities. But everyone is looking forward to this new super cartoony Pixar style. The original texture, let's see, has 1, 2, 3, there's 5 color bands in here. And let's suppose this band is this band. This band is equally sized, so that's 4 bands of 120 pixels. So shall we do circular? Do we groove it circularly? Or do we do it more linearly? What does a tree bark thing look like? I think it's more circular. It's more natural. So let's make a new one called bark waves. And let's ignore the grooves for now. So we're going to add those bark waves by using our reference file. Place artwork production reference files circular displacement. And we need to sort of scale this down. 120 wide, like this. It's a bit bigger than I expected. Oh, we're working at half scale here, so then it says 60 pixels. Of course, you got new iPad with unlimited storage. Yeah. Amelia has got some new toys. And we can't blame her. So let's make the background the midtone. That's what she said. You're getting the hang of this, Ruan. That's what she said. Let's remove all of those guides. We don't need them anymore. Which is also what she said. And now there seems to be a note here. Background LR rung 1. That's probably... do we just make... No, we need the grooves. I was about to propose making a separate file because everything is just weird. Everything about this file is weird. That doesn't matter. That was a good one. Right. So the original design has the raised portions at of the sides like this. 60, 180. There you go. And then we just make them 50% transparent like that. Boop. And we use not normal, but we use overlay. Nope. Screen? Question mark? Yeah. That looks good. So those are now raised. We're trying to mimic the effect in the original texture. And that's pretty close. Then we copy this one over for the center part, and this has to be recessed. So I think we use difference, exclusion, overlay, soft light. It needs to be inverted. How do we invert this? I think difference is the right approach. Exclusion is the right approach. No. Color burn? No. Overlay, invert, send. Yeah, I'm confused here. Maybe the approach is that we just copy them over. We copy them over and then we make a flipping layer. Multiply is also not the one that we want. Flip. Over the course of making these textures, I found that this has been a common scenario where you want to have a groove instead of a raised portion. So let's make another reference file that is inverted. That way we don't have to do, like I also already made a circular circle. So let's just make a circular displacement inverted file. And then we just add it to this. So we add a layer here, invert, and then it's 1000, 1000 in this file. Boop, boop, and then we just say difference. There you go. So instead of doing all kinds of jazz in this file, we do it in the other one. And then we just copy over the current displacement. And we can still use the screen, I believe. And then we relink it. So we then use... No, we don't use screen, we use a different one. But we use the reference file inverted. Like this. Boom. And now we need to use... It sounds like math. It is math. It's a lot of math. Game development is a lot of math. Trust me, I'm a doctor. We should be able to make them connect. Instead of having this weird edge thing on there. How do we lighten? And then do we set this to darken? Okay, okay. Lighten. Is this what we want? Regardless of if it is what we want, at least it's consistent. At least it's consistent. So that's a start. I think it might be a bit too much, which is coincidentally also what she said. So let's tone it down a little bit like this. So this is a very gentle flow to the bark. And then we added back the grooves, and then the grooves, instead of being super white, we need to make sure that they are always recessed. So let's select multiply. And then you can see the grooves sort of like independently being overlaid on top of the other stuff. And it has an inner glow. And I think we just make it a bit darker. Really, really working it here. And then we can make the light have a bit more of a 10. This looks pretty nice. It might be just a bit, like we do want to have some definition in the grooves. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. See, so we now, this is the idea behind this retexturing. We take the original texture, which is just plain black and white. So I can open it up as a comparison here. And we sort of need to define what it looks like in 3D. So we now added a bit of waving, which is these dark and light lines, the big lines in the background, the vertical lines, a bit of a wave to the material. And then we add the grooves in there to give the the shadow light portion that we saw in the texture. I think this is a very good attempt at a first new displacement map for this material. So let's save this, and let's save it as tree bark swamp root displacement. Now we open it up in Pixplant. Welcome back, Amelia. We're working on the tree bark. I hope you're ready for some tree bark. Or you might tree barking up on the wrong tree. Here we go. Open it up. Decent. Decent. We always smooth the normals like this. See, we have this very subtle, gentle, circular effect to it. It might be slightly stronger even, but it has this wave to it, which is probably going to look very nice. If we make this a 1x1 UV, and then maybe use a cylinder, this is sort of the shading effect that we're gonna get. So we might want to displace it even more. I think it's such a nice effect that we can add to this, that we want to go all out here. So we can keep the grooves as is, I believe, but then we open up the bark waves and then we just say transparency 50%. Like that. It's just a binary search again. We just multiply by 2. See what we end up with. Close all. Discard. Displacement. Open. We smooth the normals. There's a bit of artifacting going on, which hopefully we get rid of by doing this. Oh, yeah. See, this is starting to feel a lot like tree bark. Hi, bro. Hi, corpse. What do you think, Ruwan? Like, is the effect too much? The grooviness? I feel it's pretty good for tree bark. I feel it's pretty good. Otherwise, you would get really miffed at the fact that there's not a lot of that shading going on. Let's run with this. We're saving the normal map. Tree bark variations. Luckily the file name was already filled in. Everyone says, we still need to do the ambient occlusion. Oh, this looks so good. There's this sense of directionality and depth to it that you just won't find anywhere else. See, now the ambient occlusion is applied. I will give you that it's a bit of a rigid design in the sense that that it's very straight, but this block has got displacement applied to it anyway, like from the engine itself. So we have more knowledge about the situation, and let's just, again, let's make it good first and then make it perfect later. So here we do a trick with the grooves. The grooves are still in the same place. What we do is we apply a different sort of shading effect to the grooves. We have, let's see, texture mapping channels. Metallicness remains the same, but the roughness is slightly lower. So we say that the grooves, where there's cuts in the tree, they are slightly smoother. And that's realistic. Like when you cut into a tree, when you cut into bark, the wood that you cut in is a lot younger because it gets pushed from the inside outwards. And that makes it that the inner center, like the center of the wood, is wetter, and that's a lot less rough. So this is a nice effect that we can probably keep. I'm not sure if this has got the inner glow applied to it. It doesn't, so maybe we need to tweak that slightly, but I think it's good. So let's keep the file as is. We will make sure, oh yeah, we will export it anyway. So let's open up this file, and now we can see our ambient occlusion applied with the material effect. I'm back again, nice. I hope you're still ready for some tree bark. But this looks very good. This looks very detailed, very lovely. We add a bit of that material style stuff. And why does it not overwrite? We now have two of them. We need to overwrite the file. There we go. So very, very rich looking material map, very rich looking normal map. And now we do the albedo. Albedo is the color of the material. And since we are doing a lot of things in those other files now, like we have ambient occlusion, we have very rich normal mapping, we have very rich displacement, we can now just remove this entire file. We don't have to fake the bark anymore, I believe. We could do a bit of a fake, so we could still say that the center of the material is still lighter than the outside. So instead of doing bands, maybe we remove this, and then we just brighten this slightly. Let's go with just randomly selected 156. This is the idea that if you cut into wood, you get a different color inside. That's realistic. I can live with that. So we save this as 480. Albedo. Okay, Illustrator is closed. Let's open up Texture Packer, publish it. And this texture gets applied to both the full bark block as well as the column block. So we did two at once, in a way, in a sense. So looking forward to seeing some very rich shading on these. If we remove this stuff over here, boom, boom, boom. There's some tree bark over there. Hard to tell what it looks like in the dark. So let's select one. Let's drag one out into the light. Girder shape. Corroded steel pipe. Tree stump. Alright. Perfectly serviceable. Tree stump. Oops. See, so the inside of the wood reflects the light a bit more. Yeah, a bit more. It's more shiny. So I'm not loving this specific rim. Hum. Everyone says Let's take a look at a build that uses this. So I might have we might need to investigate why we have that weird horizontal line going in. I can see it here in the texture as well. So it might be 1 pixel off or so. Where do we go?
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Countward de Villa has got a lot of these. Here you go. There's definitely this sort of artifact going on here. And maybe the albedo can be slightly darker so that we get a much more delineated contrast between the inside of the bark and the outside of the bark. Other than that, I think we're pretty good. The wavy effect doesn't come through too much, so maybe we can make the wave even stronger. What I do like is that it's got a bit of a rounded feel to it. So we used round shading for this block, and that's pretty good. Everyone says it looks good though. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's just the previous version was a bit sharper than this one, so this is definitely way more in line with the style that we're shooting for. This looks pretty good. Your restaurant, Saint Rofar, which wonder is it? You should know this, Ruan. What's Saint Rofar? The numbers, Mason. The numbers, Mason. 29 and 30. So that's, I think 30 is the one with the village. Yeah. Good, now we need to go to the restaurant. What's the name of the person that goes to the restaurant? Linda? Or is it a different one? Is this the way to the restaurant? We already have some tree stump over here. Alex is going to the restaurant. 29, there we go. Alex goes to the restaurant, yeah. Oh, the rocks are so nice. I think there's a giant tree stump over to the right of us that's coming into view in a few seconds.
Nothing like that.
Yep.
New treasure smell.
Hey, with a mushroom growing on it. So this is also something that we need to check. Like, what does the bark look like on flatter blocks? I think the roundedness is slightly showing, but the effect might be stronger still. Let's see if we can raise Alex there. Yo, the rocks, yeah. Fatih is there. Let me in. Okay, pretty serviceable. Let's head upstairs. Don't forget to sub Prime, okay? We are subbing. Everyone, do you like it? Ignore the lanterns for now, because that's not the block that we were working on. Sus. What is sus? I feel it's pretty good. I feel it's pretty good. Let's see what it looks like on the outside. Sus. Okay, let's see what it looks like on the outside. Okay, here we go. Accidentally entered another video. Oh, I enjoy. Hey, you can see the roundedness. When the sun is at a grazing angle, you can see the roundedness of the material come in. I think that's a very nice effect. Like right now, you can start to see the ridges build on the bark. Really add some depth to it. Guys, keep in mind this will be a mobile as well with the game graphic, with the same graphics. Yeah, sort of, sort of. It's under discussion. Like there is no technical reason why it couldn't work, but at the moment it's only on my Mac. I think it will work on Linux and Windows without too much problems. And most of the tricks work on mobile too. So yeah, everyone is waiting for it to arrive on mobile. But hold on to your horses just a bit. Okay, so what do we want? Do we want to make the difference between inner and outer bark slightly higher, like increase the contrast a bit? Or is it just good as is? I don't want to mess around with it too much. Grazing angles just look so good. When you can see the roundedness come in, just the waviness. Maybe you can get like 1 hint darker with the background. So increasing the contrast a bit. So maybe we make it halfway. Like this. I don't want the texture to rely too much on this contrast. Because then we're back to using an albedo trick for this. And that's not what we want. On the other hand, tree bark is a lot darker in my experience than the inside of a tree. So it might not be too bad. This is the highest graphic sandbox looking game on mobile. Trust me, I played all of them. We look like a sandbox game.
Time to waste. Let's go.
Hey, it's something.
Been looking
Welcome
for
to
this.
Eclixy. Oh, the lighting. Oh. The lighting. Oh. On these bricks. How? Why? How? How even? It's nighttime, but it's still good. Ikambuka. Ooga booga. Welcome, Gaston. Gaston, we're working on the tree bark at the moment. So we're visiting Eclixy because there's a lot of tree bark. Ruwan, you like? I think it's better. Maybe. Is it too much? This looks so good. Yo. Is it too much contrast in the albedo channel? I think it is slightly too much. So we need to be halfway between 156 and 127. I think we now rely a bit too much on the albedo, where we want to rely on the lighting effect. The overall look is pretty good, and the bumpiness, the waviness that we added is definitely a plus. Yeah, we went there a few moments ago, so let's go to 29, which is the library. Here you go, Fatih. Not sure what the top of it looks like. Yeah, it's just a bit too much. Maybe we were already pretty much perfect. Hey, Gaston, you look awesome. Thank you for making it. Without you, there wouldn't have been that build. So we use math here. Calculator. 156 plus 127 divided by 2 is 141. It looks very glossy. Well, that's probably because the material is shifting slightly because of other materials being nearby.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
And we back. Where's the thing? Oh, it's over here. Okay, again, pay attention to the inside and the outside of the bark. Yeah. This is pretty much perfect. I think this is pretty much perfect. Sun comes around for another go. Here we go. Because now the inside of the bark is almost the same as the wooden planks. Slightly lighter, just a wee bit. 156, that's 14, so it's 14. Let's go with 148, 148. Maybe the 156 was already pretty perfect. Yeah, what we did, Gaston, what we did is make it a very nice contour. This is what the material looks like in Pixplant. And there's just this very nice contour that we added, a bit of waviness to the bark. And that really shows when the light is at a grazing angle. You get this sort of like flowing effect, this wave, which is really good. Which also reminds me, like, how do we get rid of that pixel artifact? See, it's over here. Where does it come from, and how do we fix it? Because I think the waves are good. 240, 240, 240. I mean, what is the problem? Is the problem in the grooves? So let's try to isolate the problem here. You're the only mobile sandbox game that has shadow and light integrated in it. The other highly is the voice acting and the mannequins that can move. The mannequins that can move. Hey. The problem doesn't seem to be in the grooves. Because we now don't have this weird thing going on. So then the conclusion must be that the problem is in the waves. But I don't believe that it can be in the waves. There's no way that can be right. It is in the waves. See, here's the artifact. But how can this be? I know the quick and dirty solution to this. The quick and dirty solution is to just make these taller. Just make it bigger, which is coincidentally what she said. Hey! I'm glad you're here. If anyone is looking for some fun, click on the link. It's not set to private, trust me. I've clicked that link many a time. It's not set to private, you can just have a lot of fun there. Close all in this plasma. Yeah, I think it somehow clips incorrectly to the artboard. So let's just make super sure that we overshoot the artboard slightly. Since the grooves are already good, we can just reuse the thing. Oh, oops. And now we should take a look at those columns in Count de Villa. Make sure that the artifact is gone there. Displacement. Looking good. We can now smooth it. Yeah, the artifacting is gone. I already compared, Ruan says. Built the same house on Angeldust and in another game. Angeldust looks much better. Ayo, date in all ages. Finally I will be able to meet some 53 years old women. PS5, here I go. That's how you do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this occlusion map just looks so tasty. So good. And that's what we do with all the materials. It takes a ton of time. But if you make them look good, as we saw with the snow effect, it's just so good. There is just no stopping us. Publish it. So 2 things to look forward to. The albedo has changed, so it should be slightly less contrasty. And the artifact on the pole should be gone.
so let's go. Nothing like that.
Count what
Huge
Digilia. Now, dear sir, is the artifact gone? I think the artifact is gone. We just need to find a place where there's light falling onto it. We sit down. Okay, we get a sort of a line because we're flipping normal here quite harshly. So it doesn't really do the smoothing in the same direction. But it's much better than it was before. Much better than it was before. I'm just brainstorming, trying to think of a way that we could maybe improve on this. But it's eluding me at the moment. So back to Saint-Rafoir, yeah. Contrast, contrast. Is good, is good. I feel this is good. It's... If we go back to 1.5.6, I believe we lose too much contrast. I believe the previous version was a bit too harsh. And I think this is just absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. Amelia adds, what I really look forward to... What I really look forward to is for the character's development. The animations and designs look good, but we need more weapons, more attacks, and more bigger creatures that we can tame. I have suggestions, lol. There we go. Yeah, the ideas are not a problem. It's development time. Okay. No, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Sometimes ideas come at the exact right moment, and then I can implement it quite easily. These are tree bark girders connecting to column blocks. I think we definitely got rid of a lot of harshness in the albedo channel with the different colors of the bark itself. We added the waviness to counteract that, so it's still in the game, that effect. Let's do a random wonder, which coincidentally is still Saint-Rafoir. Yo. And let's go to the restaurant one more time. Along the way we'll find this tree bark structure. Go into the restaurant, trying to beat the Alex. Yeah, Alex will never catch up with us. Sorry, Alex. Here's some bigger tree bark, which looks nice. And then we go to the top floor of the restaurant to see the chandelier. Keep on going. There we go. Just this bit of wetness, the glow from the inside of the block. I think we did it. Also the chandelier is made entirely out of tree bark. Something to look out for as well. To look out to as well. Good, good. But also pay attention to the sides, to the left side of the screen and the right side of the screen, where there is no light falling directly onto the tree bark. You just get this amazing sense of space, spaciousness and texture still, with the flowing, the waving, the waves going on. Like the parts where there is no light falling onto it. You just get this blue palette, a bit of outside light falling onto it. And it just adds a lot of atmosphere and depth to it. Okay, so this is Dragon's Nest Spaceport. We don't have any of those materials that we worked on. Oh, we have cobble. We have cobble though. Enjoy the cobble. Yeah, this should be granite, so this shouldn't be rocks. But good, good. I think we improved the tree bark a lot. We can still be on the lookout for the contrast, so part of me says it can be slightly more. 145 then. Final offer. Final deal. Because I like the effect. I think albedo is perfect for this this effect. We could also try to use albedo mixing, but that's a bit too advanced for my tastes.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Today was Sans Revoir Day. Okay, here we go. Okay, absolutely perfect. Don't change it. It's 145. It's absolutely good. But the more you pay attention to it, like the more the contrast now catches my eye. But I feel that this is a very nice difference between the inside of the bark and the outside of the bark. In direct sunlight. Are you planning to add more biomes in the future? Ideas aplenty. First, I want to get this game, like this version, up to speed or up to par with the current version of Angeldust. And then I can work on expanding the entirety of the games. Like this one combined with the other one. I think, oh, the bark is so good. The bark is so good here. Just the shading of it, the look of it, the smell of it. It's not even subtle, but it's there. It's not even subtle, but the waviness that we added, that is just so good. It adds a lot of depth to the entire texture and to the entire room. It really feels like a bark this way, instead of being just a flat surface. Mount Athema, do we have any wood? Yeah, we do have wood. On this tree. Okay, natural materials that we did. Wood bark. Tree bark, acacia. Snow in between. Looks so good. Which reminds me that we can also go to Acacia Mountain. Wonder number 37. This probably has some tree bark too. Yeah. Okay, this feels so good. This feels really rich. Like this whole, yeah, which is what she said, it feels really good. Seriously, check it out. Just the shading that's going on onto on this entrance to the cave. And it's player built. Come on, it's player made. It does feel rich. Yeah, that's what you said. Here with the snow, and now we have the pavement tiles and the wooden planks, and there's just so much going on now. The nice grooves in the material. I think this is two different. This is baobab, and acacia. Okay, so that's something that we need to keep in mind, though, that there's also the dried out bark and the baobab bark, so everything needs to look good. But so far I think this combination is just so nice. It really feels like a snowy city built out of trees. This large column looking good. Which also means that we can climb it. Oh, and this, ooh. Come on, the look of this. This, ay. We're back to oi oi oi. It's, words fail me, so I'm just making ooga booga noises here. Come on, you wouldn't even find such an environment in a AAA game with this kind of lovingly crafted detail. Wouldn't you, mate? Corporal Hadson. I bet you would like to have some of this. Does Dragonthroat Valley have tree bark? Yes, sir. On the ivy here, the Let's go inside. The orchard had a lot of stuff. Ruan just received the bomb. Did Ruan and Angelio abandon you? No. Ruan is here in the live stream, and coincidentally, I've been in touch with Angelio this week. Oh, the rocks, the texture, the flavor. Ruan, do you like this tunnel? Ooh, this is so good. And you can make it in the game. You can already make this in the game. And it's just the way that it looks so different compared to the base Angeldust experience. I don't know how it works or why it works. But it does. When I just opened up Angeldust and went to Ekplixie in the current game, I thought, hey, this looks good. Like, does it look better than what I'm doing right now? And it doesn't, but it's just good in its own little way. This style has less contrast in a way. It's got less blacks in there, like the dark tones, the deep tones. But it's just so realistic, or like it has its own way of convincing you. I'd remove the lamps so the light from the hole would be amazing. That's coincidentally not what she said, but anyway. Pax Anima, which is number 29? Question mark? 13. It was 13. Is this proper rock? Yeah, this is proper rock and bark. Do we like the bark on the mushroom? I think we do. It might be slightly dark for birch, but it does add an interesting flavor to it. So here we end up with tree bark in the light.
Looking for this.
And it's still so amazing. I don't think we even missed the X mark on these blocks. It's just really good. Yeah, Ruan is working on a newer updated version of Valesi, which supposedly looks spectacular, but I haven't been able to visit, or I wasn't allowed to visit. Every time that I went there, I just looked at the ground and just teleported away. So that's what we do when we get there. We missed it by one here. We missed it by one. Okay, so anyway, that looks so spectacularly good. And everything is just coming together nicely. Tiles, definitely some blocks that we could probably hammer out quite easily. Okay, so let's take a look at what we did today. We did cobble. We remastered the cobble, sort of, by making the gap between the blocks smaller and making it look a bit better. We did tweak the rock. Yeah. We did the wooden planks pole, and we did the tree bark. So that's all in all, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. One thing I wanted to get into but didn't is the marble. I feel that for the marble we also want to get rid of the albedo channel in this. Partly, at least. I think what makes marble marble in real life is the fact that the albedo does change, but not in this repetitive pattern. And we already have this system in the game. We already have a system in the game where materials can have a continuum, a range of colors. And I want to use that instead of making the texture like this. So a very quick hack that I would do for the marble is the following. Maybe we can make a start with this. Base marble, albedo. Yeah, so what I want to do is I want to toss out everything like that. The cracks we can maybe keep, but we'll have to make the cracks different. So let's call this background like this. And let's not forget to make a copy. Archive. You already know that it's not going to stay at this, but hey, see you later, Amelia. I will have to go soon too. So, just a very quick idea that I want to test. Hi back, welcome back. Hope you're doing fine. We're remastering here, we are creating a better game. I'm trying to do the marble now. See you on the raid, see you in the raid. About 5.5 hours. It's that soon. Let's save all of our tree bark root files. This is the marble displacement, okay? So we do have the cracks in there. And we can potentially exaggerate them slightly. Like this. And then we can maybe glow a bit more. I want to catch the center. You gotta catch an early plane, and it's no surprise I'm standing still. Like this. It looks a bit funky. But funky might just be what you need. And this is the marble PBR displacement PNG, okay? Close all. Marble. So maybe we can tweak this texture too. At least make a beginning with it. We smooth it out. So it's a very subtle effect on the marble all of a sudden, but I feel marble in real life is very subtle in texture. So marble, Angeldust, marble PBR normal. We get rid of the hand-drawn one. Then we do ambient occlusion map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just the cracks, which is good. Marble PBR AO. Boom. Saved. Done. And then we try to do the cracks have any other color? No, they don't have. Anyway, well, let's keep it like this then. Then we just save it with a new ambient occlusion map. 480, 480, pretty grady. PBR material, boom. Okay, we're in this section. It definitely changed. Okay, let's run. Let's run with it. Publish. And the build to check with this is Le Royaume by Lucas. It has a lot of marble in there. And here's the thing, I think the pillars look absolutely amazing without the albedo channel in there, and we have just the displacement. So I want to exaggerate the albedo in the material instead of in the texture. And you will see, hopefully it will give a better look. Because see, there's already color differences in these pillars, so that's good, that's looking nice. And like the cracks, they are too strong. Cracks are too strong on this. Let's see if we can just maybe remove albedo from marble altogether. Let's go with a very smooth marble look. Though I'm not hating this. I'm not hating this. It's pretty nice marble this way. But let's just remove the albedo altogether. It sounds like an insane idea, like I always have insane ideas on this stream. We just remove the cracks, like entirely. No albedo for marble anymore. Boom. And we can just run with this. Suddenly the texture map is smaller because we don't have albedo. And then we start to exaggerate the albedo in the material instead of in the texture. Just add a bit more contrast in the material definition itself of all of the marbles. And then it will be a very distinct, unique look to it.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
So we're now expecting it to be a very shapeless box of sorts. There we go. Also the floor, like the cracks don't make sense anymore even. So maybe we add a hint of albedo then to the cracks, just a tiny hint. Let's see how we approach this. Because this just might be too flat of a look. But not by much, not by much. It's a flat look, but it's not by much. Okay, so let's add in the cracks, but make them way more subtle. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Subtle, I like it. Okay.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Alright, alright. So we now have a very subtle crack in there. So the crack is both albedo as well as shading. But I think this can be the overall structure of marble. It looks as if rocks have been pressed against each other. And it's just so much smoother than what we had before. I think the albedo can be slightly less strong even. So instead of 2 to 2, maybe we go like one shade lighter even. On the other hand, it feels pretty good. This capital we will make out of a proper displacement map. And we will remove the albedo from there as well. Make it slightly lighter. But I feel that this does more justice to the effect of it being marble. Just a much smoother look to it. And then we can take a look at what the texture looked like initially. So maybe we open up the... No, we take the new one. Archive, albedo hacked, base marble. And then we sort of need to gauge what the overall lightness of this texture is. And then we replicate that, or we exaggerate that in the engine. So this is 181, this is 132, and this is 255. So let's say that this is sort of the base tone, 181. Calculator, 181 divided by 255, that's about 70%. So what I want to do is to go to the material color definitions. And we've got all of the marbles here, black, green, orange, red and white. And these should be used for all of the materials, like all of the things in the game. And then we just, this is hue, saturation, hue, saturation, value. And then we just darken the darkest color by 70%. So 12.5. 0.875, this should be like 8.75. Black is going to be darker even. So we expand the range. 30 is going to be 21. 60 is going to be 642. Red is going to be 35. 35 and then 75 times 0.7. 52.5. Boom. So now we move the contrast from the texture into the engine material. And you'll see in a moment, once we revisit the temple in Lucas's build, the overall structure will be slightly darker and have more contrast.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
And it's just a way to distinguish the materials a bit better. So that marble is more on textures. So here we go. This might be a bit too strong. Like the white in the shadow feels very grayish, very darkish here. So this is too strong of a increase in contrast. If we go to Psychedelia, which is number 28, we have a few marble pillars here. Let's see what those look like. Everyone says, yeah, it might be a bit too strong of a difference here. Are these pillars in the light? We're looking for something that's being lit by the sun. There we go. Okay, overall I'm not hating it though. It might look a bit strong because we were used to the first version. But let's see one more time when the sun rises on this. It does make it way more marbly. Marbly. Let's take a look at the top. I'm not a hater. I think by default white had a bit too much contrast already compared to the other ones. So maybe we tweak the white and then we're good. I feel the white gets a bit too dark in places, so let's maybe raise this to 60. We also have natural marbles, marble blue, and we need to do the same trick here. So 50 would be 35, and marble gray is going to be 50, 35 as well. And we can see those at Eclipsy, I believe. In the marble hills, green hills, blue hills, something like that.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Here we are, Eclipsy. So there you go, those are now marble hills. The albedo is completely gone. But we do have the displacement in there, or the albedo is still there, but it's very subtle. Like this.
Been looking for this.
And we get this way stronger colorization effect, where you see darker portions, like it being a more mixed material. So overall, if you assume that this is marble, it's not too bad. It is a bit of a departure from the original style, though. Here's the gray marble. So maybe on darker materials, we sort of want to exaggerate the albedo slightly to get these cracks back in there. And then we just need to balance it with the whites. So it feels like marble. If you say, look at the highlights here, it feels like marble. It's very glossy, it's very smooth.
Been looking for this.
So that's good. But it is a departure from what we had. Does Electrode have any marble? Yeah, you created this game engine yourself? Yes, that's why I'm able to code everything and change everything at will. So yes, I made it myself, and I'm also now making the textures myself, based on the work by Space and Robotic. Space is green, Robotic. Do we have marble here? There's probably marble somewhere. Oh, here, these columns are marble. He's talented. I like to think so. One thing that I do need help with is promotion though. So if you can tell your friends or like people you know who might be interested in sandbox games, voxel games, about the game and about the streams, very helpful. If you want to support me, you can buy the game and start playing it. Tonight we'll do a raid again with like all of the players. So if you feel like raiding with, like usually we have a group of like 20 people or so, and then we just go into the world and hammer things to death. That sounds like your cup of tea. Feel free to join us. The 3D version of the game is now also available on the Google Play Store. It wasn't previously. Yeah, okay, so the cracks need to be a bit darker, especially for the darker marble materials. Other than that, I feel we're pretty good. It is a departure from the original style, but it's something that I want to try. Also, the bark still looks amazing. Right next to all of the other materials. Is this a door? No, it's not a door. One more random wonder. Halloween Terror. Does this have marble? There should be marble somewhere. Oh, here's a lot of marble. Okay, I'm going to watch over Dracula Castle. So what you don't see on these development streams is the hunting part or the exploration part. There's an entire world to discover with lots of biomes. About 200 or 300 creatures to discover. Which you can do by yourself or in groups. You collect coins that way, which allows you to claim land and build your own stuff like this. If it's great, I will add it as a wonder. So these are the in-game world wonders that we're visiting to show off the material rendering. The roofing tiles still pretty as ever. Tapered stones. Yeah, not seeing too much marble here. Oh, here's one marble block, orange marble. Yeah, this definitely could have a bit more albedo in there. Material color. Other than that, things are looking nice. I like the color palette of this build. There's even a bit of purple strewn in there for good measure. Grey marble. Yeah, we definitely want to increase the albedo slightly. Ooh, I didn't even save that version. What were we at? 222 or so? Maybe 222 was pretty good. 2, 3, 1. I want to eat lunch. Get ready for the lunch, as they say. So again, in 5 hours, give or take, raid stream, hunting stream, what we call it. Eclixy, one more time. Okay. Let's get physical. Okay, marble. Marble. Hop over this way. Okay, one shade darker. Let's go one shade darker. So I think 222, the one that we were at initially, might have been like a very good shade. Save it, publish, convert it one more time. Like back what you asked, like did you create the engine yourself? Yeah, so that's why you see all of the game code on screen.
No time to waste, let's go.
It's like it allows me to tweak the game and like optimize it to the core, which is really nice. Especially because we run on lower end devices. Here on red, it could be slightly stronger, I believe. On grey it looks pretty good. The red is a bit... we need to find a larger area with marble. It sort of needs to fill the role of like when there's no light falling onto it, we still want to have a little bit of those cracks showing. And this feels very marvelous, very marbly. Marbly. This is, I think we'll keep it at this for now. And next stream we'll do the marble capital. Make a normal map for the thin block. And then we'll have finished the... Yeah, check this out. There's a nice marble pillar here to the right, to the left, sorry. We should see the sun reflect, yeah, like this. Decent,
Hey,
decent.
sweet haul.
It's just a very subtle stone texture in there. Yeah, do we try 214? The game is very optimized, indeed. It runs on Raspberry Pi. It's a credit card sized computer. It's insane that I was able to make it run on that as well as it does. Let's try this.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Wonder. CDX Bronc. Does this use marble? Anywhere at all? Oh, here are marble capitals.
Nothing
And
like
some
that.
regular
Treasure
marble
smell.
blocks, the black ones. Okay, so black marble is always going to be a very hard material, even in real world. Black marble is a very hard material to see the contrast in. So it's probably never going to look like super much better than this. It's just very deep, very rich, very polished. Very hard material to get right, even in photography. So if people want that look, they can get it.
The loot and we're happy.
Some orange marble here. Is there any place where we can get some light on it? Okay, nice interior here. Water barrels. Okay, I think I'm good with this. So then we have the marble pillar. We did this one in the previous streams. The marble pillar is good, and then we have the thin block. And yeah, I think we do this in the next live stream. We don't want to use that. Quick look at what it looks like. Yeah, we kind of have it laid out in front of us already. It's basically just a matter of slinging this into... we sling this into, what is it called? Pig's plant? And then we're done, basically. Do we want to do this? Does it have a albedo, though? Is what I ask myself. Yeah, the albedo is shared, of course. The albedo is shared. Let's make this texture. Let's just do it. So we remove this file, remove this file, remove this file. The albedo is what we already have. So let's see. Thin albedo is just a straight copy, which is sus because we were looking in the archive. Which then also means that we weren't even changing the texture at all. Nice going, Firefly. Now I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. Don't save. This is good. Okay, this is good, but this is at 222. I think that's where we ended up. We went with 214 eventually. So we did save it in the correct location, I believe. But we didn't update the correct file there. Okay. Thin. Do we want to do this? This can go in the trash. This can go in the trash. This can go in the trash. And then the idea being that we make the capital with a very slight dent in there. So we remove all of these layers. This is the normal cap. Do we use a glow for this? We should use a glow for this. Inner glow, that's good. This is so me. Yeah, Ruan, this was me. And then the crack overlay, we can keep the layer. and we replace the displacement with our displacement. Marble displacement. It was already linked, so okay, I'm glad that we did this file, that we're doing this file before lunch, because it should supposedly be a matter of just like saving this out now, making our ambient occlusion, and then we're done. Displacement, we open up the thin displacement like this. Then we set the tiling to horizontal. Does it make a difference? Maybe if we smooth it. Yeah, I think we want to use horizontal here because it doesn't have to tile vertically here. So it does need to tile horizontally, and even that it doesn't because we flip. No, it does need to tile horizontally. Or does it? Yeah, it does. Good, so that's the normal map. Save it. Marble variations. Marble thin normal. It looks very sussy initially, but that's because we used our hand-drawn one. Now we extract the ambient occlusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks nice. We could go with a rounded look to this, but I don't want to go with a rounded look because these are almost always next to each other. So let's not do that. We just save this as marble thin PBR AO. And then we save the new material thing. This is so me. Publish. And it should be good, like our initial approach should be good already. And we can visit Neferspi for this. Neferspi has got a few of these marble caps, so let's go to Neferspi. There are so many that we even... Oh yeah, here we are. Okay, okay. It's very rounded now. Like the previous one was a lot sharper because we hand drew it. This is more consistent with the style. So now we should probably decide if the glow should be slightly less because it might be a bit too rounded now. And maybe the background can be even more in the background, so that we introduce a bit of contrast that way. Because knowing Obi, he's probably gonna say like, oh, the previous version was so much better. Where do we have marble caps? Any random wonder? Cinnabon Village. Show me the marbles.
New treasure smell.
No marbles. Paraíso. There's a lot of marbles here. In fact, we have an entire castle made out of marbles, I think. These bridges are pretty tricky. You definitely want to walk in the center. Don't fall off. Okay, I like the look of the marble here on the sides. Then we enter the castle. And do we have any caps at all? No siree. Oh, here. It's not bad. But I can imagine that it might look slightly better if we just decrease the roundedness of the cap slightly. You can sleep in a car, but you can't race a house. Truer words have never been spoken, Crunchy. I'm glad you're here. How are you doing? So do we go all out and make it like super? I don't think we do. So let's try it like this, and then we also lower the background color, like darken the background a lot. Do we go extreme? Like, do we want extreme jousting here? We can try. Welcome back, Ruan. Hope you have a good time blasting your friend with Amine pictures. I got trolled. I should have stopped. I should have stopped at the previous one. Okay, so check this out. Very nice shape to it. Now, of course, I'm going to smooth it like this. So it will always have a bit of this smoothness going on, but maybe this can be our thing. Oh, Crunchy, we've been doing so many cool things today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This looks very nice. It's got a bit more depth to it now. Crunchy, next time you're here, we can take a look. I made a super cool snow effect for the game that makes it look like everything is snow covered, and it's just the best. It's so lovely, and it's especially now with Christmas, it's just so good.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Acacia Mountain. Does this have marbles? We also did the tree bark. I have a nice snow, so the snow is just so nice as well. Do we just go back to Neferspi? Next time then, yeah, remind me. It's such a lovely effect. You can just feel the snow. Feel the snow, feel the snow, feel the snow. Love your show. We go back to Neferspi, because I can already feel Obi's breath in my neck. Saying, visit Neferspi! Okay. They are very ornamental now. Oh, the light suddenly loaded in.
Well, no rush. I'll just chant or something.
Very ornamental. Yeah, this is what marble looks like. I know it's completely different in the current version of the game, but this is what our marble looks like. It's glossy, it's very pretty. Everyone says it's fancy. Some might say it's even a bit fancy. But of course you run into the problem, because if you designed your build with the previous aesthetics in mind, it looks a bit different now. Like the same with this, but this is just what our marble looks like now. And let's not diss it before we completed the entire texture set. I mean, these are brick doors, okay? So we could add those textures as well. Maybe something for the next stream where we duplicate the duplicated textures. Oh, these are marble. And I fixed the normal mapping on this. So see, these are marble slopes upside down, and they just have a lot of light in them. Like here's another capital. Like, I don't think it looks out of place. If the material rendering is consistent with the rest of it. What I do need to fix though is the sort of reflection color on there. So it should be like less sky color here, because it's reflecting the build, like other stones. So that's something that we can tweak later on. But I feel that the texture itself is good. Like, it's got depth to it. The shape is nice. It doesn't look out of place. For some reason the stair gives a lot of Greek energy. Yeah, that's because it's got this Greek shape to it. Nice. So if we go to Lucas's build, where these blocks are used in a Greek style temple. Well, well, Fatih. We meet again. This looks super different compared to what we left off with last time. Okay, so maybe we tone down the effect just a little bit. Maybe it's a bit too much. Though it is pretty nice. Like, it matches the look we added to the columns. Like, this is a nice marble set. But maybe it's a bit too strong now? On the other hand, I'm strangely comfortable with it. But it might be just a tiny bit too strong. You will hug it? You still hug him, Crunchy? Nice. So maybe we do an in-between value. I'm not sure what we were at initially. Yeah, it was a lot lighter. So maybe we go with 127 then. And I got trolled. I wanted to eat lunch, then I didn't. But we will get there. Like, okay, maybe it's a bit too strong. Maybe we overdid it. Smooth it out. One, two, three, four, five. My main goal is to have these centerpieces be dark, and that's what we succeed in. Yeah, this looks a bit more refined. It's a bit more refined. Sure. I'll let you have this one, Obi. I'll let you have this one. I take you to my Pantheon to vibe check the marble. Okay, and Fatih says, but the marble block looks like too soft of a glossy. That's just basically the artwork style, sort of, that we're working in Gaston. So we don't have these super sharp edges anymore. We had those when I did the hand-drawn normal maps, but it was impossible to do in that style. And I don't want to start mixing those styles, because then it looks weird. Okay, so a bit more of a refined look to it, definitely better, less overdone. Still raised, like there's still a nice amount of detail in there, but it's just a bit more subtle. I don't mind this. I think this is nice. Of course, it's also like subject to refinement in future live streams. Let's see what Neferspi does. There you go. Less exaggeration. Like these are like not even bad. Like if I sit next to them, you would say like, hey, those are marbles. Marbles. Windowsill. Okay, let's jump to a random wonder here. I feel it's now got a nice balanced depth to it. Also, will this be a future or will it be default 3D mode?
Hey, sweetheart.
That's still subject to change. So the idea is that this is going to be a sort of new thing. Marble capital. Marble, yeah. Tons of thought in your remastering, indeed. And the snow is just so good. The snow is just so nice. Is there marble at Conquest de Villa? So we improved the cobble texture, so it now matches the other styles. We improved the tree bark texture, so it matches the other style. We completely redid the wooden column, which now matches all of the other styles. So the legs of the table now match the top parts. And everything is just coming together real nicely. The snow is also really good. It fixes in the geometry rendering, so everything is just so nice. Yeah, where is the marble? Ruwan, are you online? No, oh no, I can't teleport towards you. You're not my friend. Oh, and the roofing tiles. The roofing tiles over there. Like, I fixed the way that the stairs blocks are rendered. So the alignment is now proper. And oh, it's just so good. So we definitely want to dive into the metals as well.
Hey,
Yeah, forget
sweetheart.
about it, Ruan, forget about it. It's, I was being dumb here.
Nothing like that. New
Plaster
treasure
we need to
smell.
redo, so... Okay, I'm happy with this new marble. Let's stick with the new marble. And let's just enjoy what we have. Saving, saving. He's not your friend. Yeah, in-game, in-game. I was playing with Infamous, placing snow, and he said, why are you using snow? Yeah, why are you using snow? Okay, so this weather effect shader, maybe in a new stream we can do it once more. Like the more textures we add, the cooler it will look. Hello, Dobroy. How are you doing? Dobroy sounds a bit Russian, Ukraine-ish. Привет, как дела? Как дела? Right, so we did cobble, we worked on marble, we worked on rock, and we worked on tree bark, and we worked on wooden planks. So lots of work today. Hey Pizza Gaming, how are you doing? I told him to make this area brighter. There you go. Shall I do it just once, Crunchy? I will do it specially for you, since you showed up. I really need to start eating, but I can eat later. I'm doing fine, thanks. I'm about to wrap up this stream, but feel free to subscribe or follow, and then you will be able to visit the next development live stream. So what this does, this is a shading effect to add a bit of fake snow everywhere. So if I fire this up, yeehaw, check it out. Everything now has a snow covering. So even my hat and even my dragon, everything is snow covered.
No time to waste. Let's go.
But check this out. If we go into the world, oh, my lamps are still working. Nice. If I go into the world, for instance, to yeah, let's do Neferspi, where we just were. You know this as being orange and yellow with bricks, but now it's just snow covered everywhere.
I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
It's wonderful, yeah, it's a really wonderful effect. Like even this man is snow covered, he's been standing in the snow for too long. But it's just such a lovely feeling. Such a lovely feeling, like the entire city being covered in snow. Countworth Vivilia, where we just visited, with this effect is also marvelous. Marvelous. Check this, Fatih. Snowy Neferspi. If we jump on the roofs, like this, you can see that the roofs are snow covered. Like you could make postcards out of this, which is an idea I have. Like maybe we send a postcard on the Twitter, like say, hey, come visit the development live stream where we sometimes play in the snow. And the new tree bark also looks really good. And just the way that these planks interact, like the texturing interacts with the snow. See these top rims all having snow and then cursed. Hey, we can do your build. Saint Rafar in winter. Oh, this looks so good. This just looks so good. Linda is covered in, in snow. Like I said, Obi will have a field day with this, but Linda is covered in snow. The mushrooms covered in snow. It's just so Christmassy. Central Square. I've been baited into streaming longer than I wanted to. The rocks, it's just so nice. Ooh, the center square. Imagine if this wasn't rain, but if it was snow. That could be the Easter egg, that you get snow everywhere if you enable this mode. Instead of having rain. This will put out my barbecue. It might. But it just works really well on builds that have stuff. 12 Kingdoms, Rob 12, not sure if you're watching. But here's just a bit of loveliness. Wait, I want this. Yes, everyone wants this. Like this could be a very nice Easter egg. The roof's covered in snow.
And now we found the loot.
This
and
doesn't
we're
yet take
happy.
into account like ceilings. But here the reed roofing roof is also covered in snow. I mean, this is the power of having the engine to yourself and just being able to make things look absolutely spectacular. It's a totally dumb idea that I once had, but it's just it's a nice Easter egg addition, I think. The Royal Guard walking in the snow.
Lead on.
I like to dance in the snow. I love it, Gaston says. Okay, one more wonder and then we out of here. Because I really need to start eating. Because there's another live stream in about 5 hours? Yeah. Hey, Pax Anima. Oh, this also looks so good. Check out. Like, it's such an... I'm not sure what the word is. It's such an innate, intuitive, carnal feeling to see this. I see you later. It's such a carnal feeling, like intuitively you know that things are covered in snow. It's just so good. And the interaction with the normal mapping and the smooth shading that we have on the landscape.
Nothing like that. New treasure
Yeah,
smell.
it makes it really AAA quality. Like, this looks so cozy. And entering Paxanima here. Over the top stuff. Indeed, it's over the top, but I like it. I know. It's over the top, but I like it. And I'm getting really hungry now. So this was it. I'm closing my my programs. Terminal. Closing the folder. Closing the code generation. Calculator is closed even. And then we only have our other stuff. Go into the trash. So, in less than 5 hours, we have the next live stream, and I still need to eat. So, oh, what's up with that? I'm gonna have to cram a lot of food into me. Nom time, indeed. Hope you enjoyed the live stream, everyone. I hope you all had a good time, saw something interesting, saw something cool, and hope to see you again next time. I'm not sure if I will be streaming tomorrow. It could be an idea, but maybe I will be doing some cool stuff tomorrow. It's a bit cold and foggy outside, so maybe streaming is the right idea. A lot of materials that I still want to look at, so like a sneak peek. For bricks, we could copy them over to the the panels. Cinder blocks we can copy over to the panels because it's complete. Facing bricks we need to redo. Grass is good. Lantern block we need to redo. Metal we need to redo. Yeah, these are not good, so metals we need to redo. Paving tiles are good. Plaster we need to redo. Reed roofing is good. Rock is good. Roofing tiles are good. Snow is good. Timber framing we need to redo along with the plaster. And then tree bark and wooden planks are good. Tree bark we still need to do the birch variant. So still a bit of work in reworking some textures. And there's also other things that we need to rework. So these rocks we also need to redo. So these are hand-drawn stuff. But we need to use the pixplant process to make them smoother. This small foliage is good though, so the grass short we already did. See you later. Yeah. So thanks for watching, thanks for like the feedback and all of the good times, and I hope to see you all again on a stream soon. Hopefully in about 5 hours, 4.5 hours, when it's Angeldust Live. And I've got a special surprise for Angeldust Live as well. So stay tuned, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. And see you next time. Bye bye. Click. There we go. Can't wait for the next dev session. There you go. We see you again in 5 hours. Remind me about the new joke. Tell me. Food yourself. I will food myself. See ya. Bye. Yo. Hello, Alexi. See you again on the next one. So let's stop the stream. Where is the button? It's right over here. Bye bye, see you in a few hours for Angeldust Live.